fake the handoff, reverse around the far side. Look at that close, and then the splash play on the tackle.
Hamilton cuts his way back to the middle part of the field. He's off to the races, and another touchdown.
Post Preps TV Game of the Week, presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
We're at Stellar Bowl here tonight. Welcome in, everybody. It is week 1, and number 1, Cherry Creek. Number 5, Regis. Set to go here from Cherry Creek High School. I'm Cory Lopez. D. White alongside here. Coming up for you, it is a matchup of two teams that watch some of the top teams in the state get rolling in 0 week. They start their season tonight, and it's going to be a fun one. Already starting to fill up on the far side. You see the Creek students, the Regis students are here. It's going to get loud, and it's going to be a shootout tonight. We'll explain the kickoff coming up in just a bit. We appreciate you being along with us. It is the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week. Number 1, Cherry Creek, and number 5, Regis Jesuit, presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American Furniture Warehouse.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Back we come, Stellar Bowl here as we preview tonight's matchup. Top team in the state according to the Denver Post in the preseason rankings, and both teams playing their first game of the season. We are in week 1. I'm Cory Lopez, joined by D. White, who by way of Thornton, Niwant, and the Oregon Ducks. My friend, it's good to have you here alongside.
Glad to be here, Cory. I'm so excited. It's going to be a great night. We don't know a whole lot about these teams with this season starting right now, but one thing we do know, both of these teams in the semifinals last year, both losing, and both having a chance to go to the title game last year and not having it. So I know both of these teams are going to be eager and ready to get that bad taste out of their mouth tonight.
Both teams lost to the teams that played in that state championship last year, and they rolled through their conferences. They really got most of their work done in the non-conference last season, and once again it's Regis and Creek that face off here in week 1. That happened last year. Regis actually won this game last year.
Regis did pull it off last year, 19-7. It was an early start for Cherry Creek, and then Regis kind of took over after that. Hopefully Dave Logan will have some little fissures and some little tweaks and turns that he can bring out to make sure that Creek starts out fast and not fall behind like they did last year.
You have to imagine these guys are chomping at the bit a little bit, because both of these teams are kind of used to, over the years, playing in 0 week. That didn't happen this time. They watched everybody else kind of get going. When I say everybody, a lot of the top teams played last week. Of course, we had Mullen and Pomona on our post-preps game of the week, but for these guys, I'm sure they've just, all you got to do is open up the gate and away they'll go.
Anticipation makes the heart grow fonder. Isn't that what they say, Cory? And I think this will be no different. Two teams ready to go. The first action of the year is always the best action of the year, because you don't know what to expect. Expect some jitters, expect some nerves early on, but once these teams settle in, we're going to have a heck of a game tonight.
We're going to highlight a couple of players. We're going to highlight the quarterbacks because they are very good, and we're going to be calling their name an awful lot here. We'll do that when we come back. It's the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week here in week 1. Top seeded Cherry Creek and number 5 Regis. It's presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
Next Post Preps TV broadcast, pull out those phones. If you've got video of an amazing high school sports highlight, we want to see it. Send it to us so you could be featured in the social spotlight segment of Post Preps TV. Tweet it to us at Post Preps or at Kyle Newman DP, or send us a message on our Facebook page. Your clip might make the cut and be featured on the next episode of Post Preps TV. Colorado's news, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7, denverpost.com/DPTV. Don't want to miss any of our Post Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
Back we come here at Stutler Bowl, and we highlight as the captains come together in the middle of the field. Guy that's going to be doing an awful lot of stuff, and that would be Jake Lamb for Regis, the senior, as he comes rolling in here. Last year, pretty good numbers, 12 touchdowns, 3 picks, and threw for over 1,200 yards. A senior out there that would like to take the next step, and that's hard to do in Class 5A, but get him back to the title game.
Absolutely. Tall, rangy kid, strong arm, a kid that likes to move around, can get outside the pocket, can create for his team. I watched some film recently, and I'm really impressed with his growth. If you look at the start of last year and where he ended up at the end of the season, the kid has a real high trajectory. So I'm expecting big things from him tonight, as well as the other quarterback that we're going to see this evening.
Absolutely. That would be the junior in Alex Padilla. And for Padilla last year, Creek had to battle some injuries, but the kid almost threw for, he threw for almost 600 yards. But again, he's a guy that can run the ball a little bit too. It's a balanced offense that Dave Logan brings in, and Padilla seemed to run it pretty well as a sophomore.
Dave Logan is arguably one of the greatest coaches to ever set foot in Colorado. He always seems to find a guy that can be electric under center. Alex Padilla is no different. If he stays healthy, we may be talking about a different state champion last year. I mean, that's really a consideration at this point. But obviously, the season ended the way it ended last year. I'm excited to see what he brings tonight. I know he will be ready.
Padilla ended up playing just 4 games last year for Cherry Creek. He'd like to have a better start and a big finish for Creek. Here they come, the home team. Number 1, Cherry Creek onto the field. Regis is already there. We're about ready for the kickoff. Break here, and we'll return for that kickoff. It's week 1, the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week. Cherry Creek and Regis, presented by AFW.
Showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com, and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere, anytime.
Watch new episodes of Post Preps TV with Kyle Newman every week at denverpost.com/preps.
Post Preps Game of the Week here, getting ready for the kickoff. We talked about the run these two teams had. Let's take a look at the schedules here as they lined up for Cherry Creek and for last season. 9-4. There's that 5-0 run though in the conference for them.
Well, a shaky start. You start out 2-3 to the season and end up almost in the state championship game. A shaky start, but definitely finished strong and just couldn't quite get it done against Valor last year.
And then for Regis, of course, you mentioned they got to the semifinals once again and ended up losing to the eventual champions there.
I suppose that's a win for the heart, but I'm sure these guys feel a little bit differently and ready to go tonight.
Kick is away by Regis, and a short kick at that. They went short with it, but Creek was right on top of it, and they will scoop it up and start with very good field position. John Adams, very smart, got on the ball and covered it up. And
Tuatelli there, Tama Tuatelli, running back, linebacker, 6'1", 230. This junior, actually senior, laying the wood there early, trying to set a tone for this Regis team that won this game last year.
So here comes Cherry Creek, the #1 team in the state. They haven't played anybody yet. We get to see what Alex Padilla is all about. He's the guy that's standing there in the shotgun, ready to go. And a quick look at a fire out to the side. It's caught out there by Stanley. Stanley is wrapped up, though, very quickly. And you can see defensively, boy, Regis is jacked up here and jumping in on Tuatili's going to be around the whole thing. And you're also going to see the likes of Charlie Quinn. Stanley is a guy that is definitely going to be in the mix for Cherry Creek offensively today. Heimlicher, the defensive end, led the league in state in sacks last year with 22, in on that tackle already early in this game. Put on about 25 more pounds for this season. Absolutely. Played at 185 last year. It's unbelievable. He looks like a monster now. Pistol set here as they reset the H-back up front to the left side. Padilla turns, turned the wrong way, but it worked out as Stacks has it and will run over to the far side over there. Found a little bit of running room over on that far side. It looked like Tama Tuatili, who we just talked about in the open, got sucked in a little bit by that offensive tackle who blocked down and allowed that running back to pop that outside and get a decent gain there. A lot of seniors on that defense for Regis. That's the way it stacks up, and you saw the offensive side of things. There's that defense there, and Tuatili, Dunnington, and Hecht. We'll be calling those guys' names a lot tonight. 3rd and 5, Padilla going to the fullback, and he is stacked up immediately. Alec Pell had absolutely nowhere to go, and Tuatili, one of the first guys there. Just as we talked about, a good play, a shaky play, and a good play again, Tuatili. But being a senior, you expect consistency out of those guys when it's crunch time, and definitely on 3rd downs, you're looking for your guys that are in those leadership roles to come through for you. It is 4th down and 3, so Marshall Parker will step back deep for Regis here because Creek will have to punt it away. How about the mix there? A handoff, they go to their tailback, a little swing pass to the outside, and then back to the fullback there. You're going to see everything. Well, and I know most of these coaches, they're going to script a couple of plays. Oh, ball got through the hands. Looks like the ball's dropped. Regis picks it up. Oh, he's got a chance here. Blocker up front, breaks the tackle on the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Adam Smallwood. Johnny on the spot, scoops it and scores. The punter not able to handle the ball there for Creek, leaves it to anybody to come and get it defensively. They pick it up and run it all the way back. Adam Smallwood, Johnny on the spot, takes it all the way back for looks like about 30-yard touchdown. That's a good way to get started for Regis. How about the scoop and score for the defense here? It was Cherry Creek that jumped out last year with that early lead. This time it's Regis that puts the first 6 on the board. Well, hopefully last year is not going to creep into the minds of the Cherry Creek Bruins. I'll be interested to see how Dave Logan's team responds to the early deficit. Looking to the side here, whether they want to go for 2 or they're going to run the kicker out there. Nope, Cuzio is going to head out there for Regis and line up. That's Jack Cuzio, the junior, and still looking. I sense a timeout maybe coming up. There's a lot of confusion here. Yeah, Mendenhall kind of looking to the sidelines here to see what they want to do. Are they going to try to go for 2? There comes the timeout. Wow, they really did not know what was going to happen here. The thought being how the defense lines up here, and you know this, D, running what happened up there with the Ducks all the time, moving fast. But maybe take advantage of things by going for 2. Sure, and absolutely what you're trying to do here as a coach is you're trying to confuse that defense and give yourself an option to maybe have some leverage to the outside in order to go for 2 if the defense doesn't line up correctly. But what you try to do here is confuse the defense, not confuse yourself. Yeah, they ended up getting a little confused himself. Mendenhall just kept staring back at the sidelines and shrugging the shoulders, throwing the hands out like, what do you want us to do? I knew the timeout would probably be imminent, and this might be the only time I'm right all night long, Cory. You'll have to write this one down. They are going to go for the point after try here and just go for 1 as Cuzio will line up. Well, for a moment, then the flag comes out here by the back judge. Possibly a delay of game here, maybe too many guys on the field. A lot of confusion here early on. Well, and both sides are going to walk to both teams walking to their respective coaches here, the officials, to kind of sort it out. Now, they haven't moved the ball. Well, actually, they have. It's back at the 8-yard line. So, well, this is an interesting way to start the game here. You have 3 and out essentially by Cherry Creek. The muff punt also by Cherry Creek. Regis picks it up, runs it back.
Now you're thinking routine extra point. Instead, they tried a little bit of trickery, confused themselves. Now we've got a penalty. We're all over the place, but you know what? Football season has started, and boy, it feels good.
Not sure who called the timeout there. Both sides just decided to take advantage of the referees in a conference there. Regis has used one. Got the ball set down here on the 8-yard line, and they still are going to go for the extra point try. It turns out it'll be a 25-yard attempt by Cuzio. Right-footed kicker snaps a good one. The kick, a low line drive kick, and he missed it wide right. After all that, D, it's just 6 points.
Well, you know what's interesting about this? If you're Cherry Creek, you don't want to be scored on, but this is almost positive. You had a long break. You had your offense time to get with the offensive coordinator and head coach and Dave Logan to figure out what your game plan is going forward. You missed the extra point. That point could come in handy later on for Cherry Creek if they're able to take the lead.
Post-Preps Game of the Week presented by American Furniture Warehouse. You can make your hard-earned money go farther with AFW this Labor Day. Labor Day event, the biggest event of the year. Come join us. See the largest in-stock selection at the lowest prices. Okay, Creek's going to get another shot at it here. Cuzio will line up to kick it away. It is Stanley, and it is for Cherry Creek, and Jackson will be back deep as well. Marcus Miller, excuse me.
Two speedsters here. Be on the lookout for number 14 if he gets his hand on the ball, Stanley.
Now, they didn't kick it very deep the last time, and the little short pooch punt, taking it about the 28-yard line here, and Creek up man will take it. And why is the little juke move? Everybody was coming at him. A lot of white shirts there, but held on to the football.
Hey, early in the game, you got to shake it out a little bit, right? You got to let the guys know, I got a little wiggle in me. You better be prepared. And it almost seems like a case of deja vu, almost in the exact same spot. Creek starting almost in the exact same spot. Let's see if Regis can be opportunistic or Cherry Creek can bounce back here.
All right, from their own 33-yard line, that's where they're going to get set to go here. Padilla on the near side hash mark. Stacks is on his hip, and man, I've heard more whistles here in the first about 3 minutes of this thing than I think that I've heard. There's something that actually came onto the field is what happened. The line judge on the far side.
Excitement is all over the place. Maybe jitters for everybody here starting.
There's a lot of people at the Stutler Bowl. This is fun, and it is loud as well. Handed off, that Stacks as he takes it there off the right side. Tuatelli, one of the first guys to get to him there. That's a nice chunk run, though, to about the 39.
That's what you want on first down. If you're Cherry Creek, to try and bounce back from what you had before, make it short on second down and manageable for your quarterback Padilla here, who is still a young guy.
Yeah.
Let's not forget this is only a junior, but he got experience freshman year and sophomore year. Let's see what he can get done in his junior year here.
All right, 2nd and 4 as they set up here. Again, out of that pistol set, Stacks is to his left and twins either side. Snap right to Padilla. He's looking to throw, and a quick release. Stolen and picked off. Look out, going back the other way. Patrick Rowe, a special teams touchdown, and now a defensive touchdown, and Regis is up 12-0.
I'm pretty sure I said deja vu not that long ago.
Wow.
It almost looked like the exact same thing, different type of turnover, but right down the exact same sideline. You see, we just talked about Alex Padilla being a young quarterback, even though he is a 2-year starter now. A young guy, kept his eyes on his target the entire time. The quarterback made a great play, and Patrick Rose steps inside and takes it all the way back for a house call.
All right, let's see what this is what's become interesting is what they're going to do after they score touchdowns here. A timeout already used by Regis on the first scoop and score. Looks like they may go for 2 here. First opportunity, oddly enough, for us to see Jake Lamb out there.
Right.
Hasn't even run an offensive series, but they're going for 2.
Well, let's see what we got here. Oh, and jitters still a factor here. Team still not settled down. Obviously, a lot of excitement for Regis, anxiety for Cherry Creek being down this much so early.
I wonder if Jake Heimlecker was the intended receiver, because that was a quick release off the line. Maybe
he was ready. I think he was ready to go up and get a jump ball. He was ready to LeBron on somebody. This kid, 6'4", 210 pounds, recruited by 7 or 8 different FBS schools. A kid that will definitely be in the mix come recruiting time.
So 12-0 here There we go. Lamb rolling out to the right side, looking, throws it short. He was looking for Marshall Parker there. That is Aubrey Marshall Parker, the senior, but it was right at his feet. Break here, 12-0. Number 5, Regis, up on number 1, Cherry Creek. It's the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week by AFW.
With the largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere, anytime.
Watch new episodes of Post Preps TV with Kyle Newman every week at denverpost.com/preps.
Lo and behold, 12-0. We played just over 3 minutes in this one. Number 5, Regis with the lead. Whoop, ball on the ground for the moment here. The up man for Creek takes it to about the 27-yard line. And again, you don't want to try to do too much with it. Barrett thought maybe he might be able to get to the edge. And how about this? Regis kicking short and relying on that defense.
I think part of that reason is they don't want Stanley to get his hands on the ball. One of the most dynamic players in all of high school football here in the state of Colorado, already an early commit to the University of Colorado. And I think that's just a strategic point where Coach Philemon is saying, look, we are not kicking this kid the ball.
Padilla all by himself. They're going to find a way to get the ball to Stanley anyway on the end around, in the air, and down he goes. Whoop, ball's on the ground. It's right near the sideline. We're going to stay with Creek over there. Rowe, one of the first guys in. There's a little laundry on the field.
Yeah, it looked like they, as we said, we just got to talk about Stanley. Coach Logan knows he has to get this kid the ball. That is the best chance for explosive plays from the Cherry Creek offense. And this also gives Padilla a chance to get out of the way offensively and let some other guys make some plays for him to take off the pressure.
You see 8:44 to go here in the first quarter, and Creek is going backwards here with a hold. Going to make it a first and long, and you almost have to put the ball in the hands of Padilla now at some point to try to get yourself some kind of momentum, and you want to get him a little rhythm going.
You give him all that experience for a reason. You expect that your junior starter, who's now a 2-year starter, will be able to try and get you out of this hole.
Give it off to Stacks, who will lower his head and take it to about the 23-yard line there, and up to make the tackle is Chiku Martinez. That's Cayenne Chiku Martinez, the junior there that came up from his cornerback spot.
Great tackle there on the outside. I think Dave Logan is really trying to settle his quarterback down, give them some easy plays to settle him in. And once he is feeling a little bit more comfortable and a little bit better about the situation, don't be surprised if they take some shots. But early on, I sense a lot of conservative nature from Coach Logan.
Run 4 makes second down and 15. Padilla's looking to pass, got a pocket, throws it high, and coming down with the football is Miller. High in the air, boy, exposed, but what a great catch.
Nice catch for a guy in Miller who's not the biggest guy in the world, somewhere around 5'9", 5'10", somewhere in there,
yeah.
But a guy that's able to sky for the ball, obviously no regard for his own body, but a great catch, because it's always tough for a wide receiver trying to catch high and over the middle.
A whistle here by the officials and a timeout being called by Cherry Creek. Well, you can't take them home with you, and both teams have used them pretty early here. We'll take a break as well. 7:27 to go. Here in the first quarter, it's already 12-0. Regis, as Cherry Creek tries to get a little momentum on the Post Preps Game of the Week.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new afw.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at
Don't want to miss any of our Post-Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
Right.
Back to the Stellar Bowl we come here. Creek with the ball, 3rd down and 6 from their own 32-yard line. Stanley will go in motion. Padilla out of that pistol set. Looks to the right, will fire to the right. Got a first down over there as they found their man. They're going to find a way to get Dimitri Stanley, the senior, involved here, and the first down for Creek.
I guess for Creek so far early in this game is, what is the stamina going to be like of Dimitri Stanley? I figure they try and get him the ball at least 20, 30 times tonight, whether that's through the return game or passing or out of the backfield. We've already seen kind of a half-pitch reverse to him going back the other way. This is going to be the guy. If they need a spark, he is going to be the one, but also keep an eye out for Miller. Padilla's got to make some plays.
Got 9 on that one. They're going to go to the tailback here, and it's Pell as he leans forward, a big chunk of yardage up to about the 47-yard line.
Big kid, tall kid, runs high. Eric Dickerson looking almost. Got a little trouble there with the knee brace. Hopefully he's feeling okay, but you like to see a little bit of power action on the inside. Your 3 interior guys, the guards and center, had great push on that play and allowed for a great run up the middle.
Second first down of this drive as it continues. The chains move. It's 1st down and 10. And from under center, they go back to Pell, and he'll run forward to about the 41-yard line there. You see coming up off the pile, Ben Hecht.
I am noticing one trend here. They are doubling Dimitri Stanley down on the backside. So if you're an offensive coordinator, that means that you only got 9 guys on the other side of the field to deal with your 10. So if they can continue to get body on body, they'll be able to run the football, and that could be a detriment for Regis as long as they continue to put 2 guys out there on Stanley.
Pick up a 5, so 2nd and 5 here. Under 6.5 to go in this first half. They fake the jet sweep, give it off to Stacks. He's got a hole there as he falls inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
Cherry Creek's offensive line starting to get into a rhythm here. They are really getting a great push on that front 7. Looking for Heimlicher here to really start setting his feet and get his defensive line fired back up the way that they were in those first 2 drives.
Gino Macias in on the tackle there as the ball sits at about the 33-yard line here. Now you start to feel a little bit of momentum for Creek. This will be the 7th play of the drive.
It's almost as if they just woke up.
Yeah.
Somebody just rang the alarm clock.
Another first down, 3rd one in the drive, as we'd said. Padilla's looking to pass, and he's in trouble setting up that middle screen. Caught by Pell there, and Pell tackled around the ankles, not before he gets up to about the 28-yard line.
Again, Dave Logan showing his prowess as a head coach in this state, understanding the situation, understanding you still have a young quarterback, and setting him up with plays that are easy reads. He doesn't have to read the whole field. On that screenplay, he's got 1 guy to read. It's the defensive end. He made the right decision and a good pickup on first down.
Over there is JT Kammer, that is. One of the guys that was in on the tackle that time. 2nd down and 5. Again, and a short 5 at that as they just keep bringing up chunk yardage. Set up the screen. They find Stanley. A little bit of open room over there, but a nice job to kind of blow that thing up was Patrick Rowe. Lost a shoe while he was doing it.
Patrick Rowe having a great start to the game. Great read there, fought off the blocker and is able to still make the tackle and keep him short of the first down. Stanley in space is the most dangerous thing that Cherry Creek has offensively, and to have Rowe make a play like that is very encouraging to the defensive staff of Regis.
Gain of 3, balls at the 25-yard line. They're close to that red zone here, trying to answer, trailing 12-0. Padilla again from the shotgun and will look, handoff. Stacks got a big hole there, leaning forward. He's finally going to be plowed back by Macias, but not before the gains again. He gets to the 16.
Old school, old school, old school. Little bit of trap there. They're blocking it a little bit differently, but to have that guard coming from the backside, kicking out that defensive end and getting right underneath that right now, that play has been continuing to work, and the only way that that's going to be stopped by Regis is if they take on that guard block and blow up everything at the line of scrimmage. But right now, Creek controlling the line of scrimmage and right now controlling things on this drive.
For a 1-2 punch with Jael Stacks and Alec Pell so far in the ground. Stanley with a couple of touches on this drive. Padilla waiting, long count, and he's looking to throw, and now he's going to keep it himself. Got some room as he will go forward to about the 11-yard line. They're going to say his knee touched down at about the 12.
You never want to see your quarterback stumble when he takes off, but that might have been a good thing. It looked like Regis defenders were getting ready to square up on Mr. Padilla, and he fell just a little bit short, but it looks like there might have been a penalty on the play.
There was a hold somewhere there. Oh, I see the flag right in the middle of the field. Maybe that's why that hole opened up there for Padilla, and he decided to take off. So spot foul, walks him all the way back here.
Sometimes when an offensive line gets going like that, they start to believe that they can do whatever they want to do, and sometimes maybe you slip inside there and grab a little bit too much jersey and the ref catch you. It's a game because there's almost holding on every single play, and it's whether or not you get caught, and this time Cherry Creek unfortunately did.
It is a 10-yard penalty. I know it's a spot foul, but it was right at the line of scrimmage, so first down 28 now actually as it sets up, so they lost quite a bit of yardage there. Look out, run around to the outside, and flying in there, that was Rowe that finished him off as Marcus Miller was trying to get to the edge. Rowe wouldn't let him do it.
Okay, I know we're supposed to be partial. The Rowe kid, boy, he is playing tonight.
Yeah.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from this Rowe kid right now. He's going to open some eyes. Not afraid to come up, make some plays. He's been flying all over the place. Already has an interception for a touchdown, a pick six. The kid is all over the place. Dave Logan in a precarious spot here. Now you're second and long. You got to be careful here.
27 yards to get to the first down. They have to get inside their own 10-yard line, inside their 7 actually. Padilla now, that modified pistol set, little play action. He's going to go up top, going for it all, and it is in and out of the hands of Stanley. He had it, and he's turning around to the referee saying, Rowe might have got my arm as I was trying to catch it.
Well, Rowe might have got away with one there, but at the same time, don't worry about the refs, young man. Catch that ball, because it looked like he had a shot at it and didn't fully extend his arms, a little bit of that alligator arm action, and I think he'll bounce back from that. This is a great player, but stop worrying about the refs and start catching the ball. You might have had a shot there.
How about the senior Rowe? He actually was looking back at the football and bumped into him, so
correct.
Veteran move.
As long as you're looking back for the ball.
Rowe looking to go up top again. They're going to try it again. Looking for Stanley, and Rowe again will spot it away.
Rowe making play after play after play, and it looks like Stanley's starting to get a little bit tired. He didn't have the same jaunt down the field that time, but Coach Logan and that offensive staff has got to let him know, if it's a jump ball like that, stop and make sure you catch it at the highest point. If you wait, you allow the defender two things. One, to get in between you and the ball, and two, you don't have an opportunity to gain a defensive pass interference if you continue to run with the DB. You have to turn around and fight for that ball. You might get a penalty. It could be first down right now.
Punt time for Creek. You're kind of in that no man's land at the 34-yard line, but Raul Rojas will do the punting here, but not before we get a whistle.
This could be a great opportunity. Well, another penalty looks like.
I think they're okay with it.
At this point,
in this
right.
case.
Sure.
It seems like a short field to be punting on here.
A great opportunity for Cherry Creek to maybe pin Regis deep and flip this field position right now.
Marshall Parker is back deep for Regis here. I don't know if you want to kick it anywhere near him.
No.
Ball to be snapped from the 39-yard line here. It's a good one. Boy, right in the face that time. And a coffin corner takes a hop and goes into the end zone. Creek will have it starting from their own 20-yard line here. So, well, we haven't had a chance to look at the starters for Regis on offense yet, except for that one 2-point conversion that was a failed 2-point conversion at that. Gives us a chance to talk a little bit about
this Regis offense. They're here too, in case everybody was wondering.
I know it. Well, how about that drive? Again, 12 plays. You end up having to punt it away, though.
It's hard not to come away with points, especially with this early deficit. But now maybe your offense has a little bit more momentum, knowing that you can move the ball down the field.
All right, Lamb is in the shotgun by himself there. Going to hand off to his running back, who will spin, and that's Chico Martinez. Short gain of about 3 yards there as they test the left side of that defense for Creek.
Another shotgun set here for Regis. Same as Cherry Creek. Lamb, you're going to see some similar things that you see to Alex Padilla, but you have maybe even a little bit less of an athletic guy compared to Padilla, but a stronger arm, so maybe airing it out tonight.
Just one junior on that defense, and almost a pick that time. How about that quick reaction? Boy, that was the big fella that was backing up there trying to make that.
Looked like he was trying to look for DJ Jackson, and this was a guy for Regis last year that was an electric guy, a guy that caused a lot of problems for defenses year in and year out. Now, got banged up towards the end of the year. They really could have used him towards the end of the season, but they're definitely going to want to get him involved early.
That's Brandon Rosas. Back to pass is Lamb out here, little out route. Oh, did he keep a foot in? That was beautiful. Aubrey Marshall Parker bobbled it, but stayed in bounds, and it's a first down for Regis.
A lot of hocus, a lot of pocus, a lot of focus. Great catch there, able to get his hands on the ball, stay in bounds. What a great catch there, and good defense. I mean, the Lamb can't put it any better than that.
Rayshawn Johnson took a shot at it, got a hand on it, didn't matter. Marshall Parker with the catch, and the chains move here. Near side hash for Justin Lamb, the senior, and he'll give it off to his man. That's Chiku Martinez, but there is nowhere to go. One of the big boys up front that's got to holding things down. Carson Brantley came in to finish him off, but look at Brandon Rosas, the senior, right in the middle of that big nose tackle.
Big kid, strong kid, is able to stand his ground. And for an interior defensive lineman, that's what you want. Your goal as an interior defensive lineman is you want to take two. Meaning that you want to cause a double team, which will free up the guys behind you to fly around and make plays, and that's exactly what we're seeing from him so far.
Coming down on 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. High snap. They're going to go back to Chiku Martinez. Martinez dancing his way to the left side, found a little room, and then it got shut down pretty quickly. Groff ends up knocking him backwards, but not before he got to the 38.
I know that Regis is showing that they can drive the football a little bit here, but you're seeing some signs of life from Cherry Creek. Even though they are giving up a couple of yards here and there, you're seeing a team that's willing to fight. You see a team that's flying around, and this is what you expect from a Dave Logan coach team. A team that even when they're down, they're always going to compete.
3rd and 6 here. Lamb will run from that pistol set the entire time. Creek coming up with 4 in the box and a rush on the backside. Lamb running for his life and throwing it away. Wisely got rid of that one. Peppercorn was in the area that time, but tough to throw a ball when you're running for your life.
Absolutely. And this is what we talked about. Lamb can make these plays outside the pocket, but it's definitely a lot tougher to make plays when you can feel somebody breathing on the back of your neck like a scary movie.
Comes up to 4th and 6, so Regis will have to punt it away. First opportunity that we saw. The Raiders out there, and 6 plays, and they are going to punt it away. So old Mo certainly on the side of Regis with the scoop and score and then the pick 6, but it's still just 12-0.
2 possessions, and that can change very quickly in high school sports here in Colorado.
Rugby style kick by Peppercorn and kicking it away wisely from Stanley. Those kicking out of bounds. They don't want 14 to get his hands on the ball at all.
And you know what? That's probably the smartest thing they can do all night long. If they can keep him away, that's going to force other players for Cherry Creek to step up and make plays. Now, Cherry Creek has some other weapons. Miller, Stacks. I mean, they've got some people that if they put the ball in their hands, they can make plays. But 14 changes things. 14 changes the game for them offensively. And if they want to get back into this, they're 1 play away with Stanley. 1 play away, and now this is a 1-possession game and completely changes the trajectory of what we're going to see tonight.
Labor Day coming up. Don't forget, go to AFW.com. See how they can make your hard-earned money go a little bit farther at American Furniture Warehouse. Proud sponsor of our post-preps game of the week. Tight end resets to the right side, and Padilla hands off to Stacks. Got a hole, squeezes through. Got popped pretty good, but fell forward to the 35-yard line. Macias got right in his grill that time, but he picked up another yard.
This is what you expect from number 1 and number 5. You expect fireworks. You expect hard hits. You expect competitive nature. And we've seen nothing short of that so far in this game. And it looks like we have another penalty on the field.
Might have been an illegal shift potentially, or illegal formation. I think they're walking backwards potentially, or
maybe the ref just wanted to practice his dance moves or something. Wanted everybody know that he can move a little bit.
The only thing I can think is that maybe it was a sideline warning potentially.
Very possible.
That's all I've got. There are no other warnings. They march you forward or backwards one way or the other when the flags come out otherwise. So back to Stacks, looking for room around the edge. He is stood up by Macias, this time driven backwards, but he got to the 41-yard line.
2-on-2 crime right now. I mean, it looks like Stacks and Macias are carbon copies of each other build-wise, and they've been meeting in the hole. But even though that was a great hit by Macias, Cherry Creek comes away with the first down.
Came late, 7-yard pickup, and then the pop comes. You'd like that to come a little bit sooner. Macias from his linebacker spots made the last 2 tackles here. Let's see if Regis loads up the box a little bit. Coming down to the end of this first quarter. Padilla's looking to throw, though, on a little play action now. Looking to escape. He's got some room. Coming here to the near side, races on. He will slide and then get tackled. But at the same time, Heimlicher was diving for him as Padilla was going down. They're not going to throw the flag, but the chains are going to move.
Cory, you talked about it in the open. This kid, Alex Padilla, has some juice. If you let him get loose, he will hurt you. And we're seeing that now. He's starting to get comfortable. I think he got rid of the early game jitters. And we're starting to see that he can make some plays as long as they give him the opportunity.
14 yards on that pickup, end of the quarter. Regis up 12-0 on number 1 Creek. This is the Post Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
Hey folks, I'm Kyle Newman with Post Preps TV, your weekly roundup on all things preps. Join me every week for all the latest news and analysis on Colorado high school football, basketball, wrestling, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, volleyball, softball, and many, many more sports. This is a huge top 10 game between these two teams. First, Dillon paces Evergreen with 13.7 points per game.
Yes, sir. This win means so much. I know we've been battling all these past 2 weeks in practice.
And that was an amazing moment for me to see him go from good quarterback to really elite Colorado high school quarterback. Hunter Willits and Grant Willits boast 5 state titles between them. Go to denverpost.com/preps for game highlights, a live stream of our game of the week on Post Preps Radio, and our weekly Post Preps podcast. Your sports, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7 at denverpost.com/DPTV.
We come here, Stutler Bowl, as Creek with the football. Still a goose egg up there on the board, though, for the Bruins here at home. Padilla in trouble again, and he'll be sacked back at the 50-yard line. First guy through there was Ben Hecht.
It looked like there was some kind of confusion on the play. Alex Padilla, when he dropped back, he went to fake, and there was nobody there to fake too. So I don't know if there was supposed to be some kind of action off the fake, but if there was, he didn't get it. And by the time he turned around, he already had Regis defenders in his face.
You know, D, we were watching him warm up, and I know it was the backup quarterback for Creek that actually did it in Owens, but they just stopped mid-play because they did the wrong thing. You wonder if that's kind of been what's been happening a little bit here leading into week 1.
So far, you know, and you want to work all the kinks out in the scrimmages before that first game, but it looks like some of that may have carried over early on.
No preseason in high school, that's for sure. Well, found a seam that time. Did Alec Pell, and boy, he is a load to bring down. You can see Tuatelli is in the middle of that one along with Hecht.
Pell, sometimes I look at him and I'm wondering if he's a tight end or a guard. I mean, he's as big as his offensive lineman. I'd like to see him get that pad level down, because if he gets that pad level down, he'll be even more of a force. But right now, breaking tackles, finding the open holes, and running to daylight, and that's exactly what you want from your running backs.
I love the description, Eric Dickerson-like, and certainly that would be the guy. 3rd and 7 now in Regis territory from the 41-yard line. Padilla, long look to the sideline here. He's got slot right. He's going to give it off to Pell now. Turns up field and gets to about the 33-yard line. And again, Hecht is there, but it's going to be enough for the first down.
Great run there. They are really protecting the edges. The Cherry Creek offensive line is. They are controlling the edges, which is interesting to me because one of the best defenders in the state last year in Heimlicher, that's where he lives. He is an outside guy, so the fact that they're able to get outside right now is very interesting. But if you notice, they are starting to run away from Jake Heimlicher.
8 yards on that pickup. Chains move. It's a first down. Pell from the near side hash mark, looking to pass. Got great protection here, but he's going to take off. Sees a little bit of room, runs out of bounds. Boy, there were 3 Regis players taking a shot at him. He got out of bounds wisely.
Cory, you got him. No, I got him. Cory, you got him. No, I got him. All of us got each other. Yeah, it did look like the Regis defenders came up a little bit short there, but no love lost there. They forced him out of bounds. Still second down coming up.
We'll pick up that time of about 6 yards, so 2nd and 4 is on the way. Padilla went all the way over to the sideline to talk to Coach Logan to get the play here. By the way, the new addition here we're seeing, and most of the field's starting to get it, a play clock, which is very cool. It's a little extra money for the schools, but again, it's district stadium, so it's good to see. Play action, throw out here to the near side. It is caught by Miller. He scampers down the near sideline to near the 25-yard line, and there on the play was Chris Adams to get him out of bounds.
Trying to find more ways to get the ball out of Padilla's hands early and allow those weapons to make plays. And what Coach Logan, this offensive staff for Cherry Creek, is hoping is that once they get the ball into the hands of their playmakers, that 2-yard gain or that 2-yard hitch route becomes 7 yards. That 7-yard slant route becomes a touchdown. That's what they're hoping when you're down 2 scores right now.
3rd and 1 here. You could do a lot of different things. Stack is stacked up for the moment. He got to about the 24. I think he's going to be short. Ran right up the back of one of his offensive linemen there.
The reason why he did that is Jake Heimlicher has lifted some weights this offseason. He pushed that offensive tackle back into the middle of the offensive line, and that's what the running back ran into. So if Regis can stay stout here, you've got an opportunity with this being 4th down, looks like coming up here, 4th and short. If you can get a stop here, you bring the momentum all back to Regis right here.
Big play of the game. I know we're still over 9 minutes to go in this first half, but Creek into Regis territory. They punted the last time they were in this spot, and now a timeout, and I think that's going to be called by Dave Logan and Cherry Creek. Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule here as we see Coach Logan prowling out onto the field to talk to his men. And what a game last week. And it was a shootout, and Pomona looks better than I thought they would. That #2 team in the state putting up 52 on Mullen. Next week, this is a big one, Arapahoe and Heritage. I love being at Littleton Public School Stadium for the rivalry.
Great teams. We're going to see a lot of action next week, a lot of fireworks, and all those early kinks will be worked out because we're working into week 2 now. So both of those teams will have a basis, something to draw off of as far as game film. It should be a great matchup as well as the rest of the matchups that we have all year long.
Arapahoe, for the first time in a few years, they're pretty good this year. There's some really high expectations there for the Warriors. I'm looking forward to that next week. We'll have it for you right here. And another Friday night contest. Big 4th down and 1 for #1 Cherry Creek. Blitz coming up the middle. They give it up. Nice little side step by Pell, and he found a hole and moves the chains.
It looked like Regis read it right. They had a run blitz on, but they blitzed the wrong hole. Blitz to the weak side instead of the strong side, and that allowed Pell to find that gap on the right-hand side and pick up the first down for a huge 4th down conversion. That really could have changed momentum, but now Creek's got Regis on the ropes. They put a score into the end zone here. We're talking about a completely different game.
Spread them out a little bit. Twins either side. Pell standing on the hip there. Padilla throw here to the near side. That quick release out to about the 16-yard line. They find Miller there.
Looks like Padilla has found his guy for the night. If they're going to take Stanley away, Miller is going to be the guy that he may rely on throughout the course of the night. We've seen him go high up over the middle, make a great catch. We're seeing him make some plays on the outside, some great footwork, some great route running, and gives a young quarterback an outlet if he feels like he's in trouble.
I think you want to stop trying to pick on Patrick Rowe, too.
Right. Absolutely. I'd stay away from that kid.
Sweep to the left side. They try to get it to Stanley. That jet sweep. There may be a flag out there, and Stanley's going to be pulled down with about a 2 or 3 yard loss. Boy, as soon as that ball got in the hands of number 14, Regis was all over it, being chased down by Adam Smallwood and Marshall Parker.
and it looks like that may be Stanley down. If that is Stanley down for Cherry Creek, that is a huge blow. It looked like there may have been holding to get the wide receiver outside on that run there, but they didn't call it, didn't see it. If they don't see it, it doesn't count, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
But if this is Stanley shaking up here, this could be huge as far as how this game will go on tonight.
He got to the 17-yard line, so he lost a couple of yards, really trying to do whatever he could to get to that edge. Under 8 to go for Creek. It's another 3rd and long here, about 6. You can bet this is 4-down territory, though, for the Bruins.
At this point, I think it has to be.
Padilla, long count, and he will give it off to Pell. He wants to bounce to the outside. There is nothing there. Great job that time. Coming up front, Gino Macias, the first guy to hit him low.
This secondary for Regis so far, between Macias and Rowe, what they've been able to do as far as coming up and being tacklers has been exceptional so far tonight. It looked like Pell had a seam where he maybe could have pushed for that first down, decided to bounce it, and then great tackling on the side of Regis defense.
We'll line up for a field goal here. So let's see. For Cherry Creek, I think it's Willis this time that will do the kicking duties. Right-footed kicker near side hash. This is a 34-yard attempt. They're trying to snap the ball and get him to snap the ball, and the center didn't see it. The clock ran out. This is going to be a longer attempt if indeed they even try to do it.
There is something is not right on the Cherry Creek team right now. The confusion, the back and forth, the indecisiveness. We've seen this from the start of the game all the way up until this point, and I'm wondering if there will be any intact walls at halftime after Dave Logan gets done talking to this team, because it seems like they are very out of sorts right now.
This is a 40-yard attempt now from the near side hash. Not a breath of wind out there if you can get it up in the air. Snap's a good one. The kick is not. Stubbed his toe, I think, unless somebody might have gotten a hand on it. I think Willis just kind of stubbed his toe on that one, and the ball will be moved back to the 20-yard line here for Regis when they come out on offense. That's the one advantage of trying a field goal from that distance, because you actually set the team back at the 20.
Absolutely. I mean, you really don't have nothing to lose in that situation, except for the ball, obviously.
Yes.
But you have to take a chance at this point to try and put some points on the board, build any kind of momentum you had. And we talked about that 4th and short and how big that would have been for Regis, but it ended up not even mattering because they get the ball back in a turnover type of situation, missing the field goal anyway. So this is still a huge turn of events for Regis.
Chance for Regis to burn a little time off the clock. You got to start thinking that way a little bit too. So here is Lamb, and a little read option this time off to the right side, and there's the first carry for Jackson. We wondered, he wasn't in the starting lineup here, but he is a dynamic player.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a kid. If you're talking about Stanley on Cherry Creek's team, Jackson is the same for Regis offensively. You have some other players, but there's something about DJ Jackson. Once he gets his hands on the ball, he really can create opportunities and really get into space and make some moves and be explosive for this Regis offense.
Got 4 that time. Lamb looking into the near side, setting up the screen, and it is caught there up across the 31-yard line. Rayshawn Johnson in on the tackle there, but again, they found a little bit of space with that quick throw.
Cory, I think you nailed it on the head. You can obviously see that Regis is starting to slow things down a little bit, trying to milk some of that clock, quick plays, handoffs, quick screens, get the ball in their hands. And in a lot of these cases, you see that they're letting the play clock run down right now. But those swing passes, those side screens, those slip screens, those are essentially long running plays. That's all they are. They're giving the offense an opportunity to control the clock while still being safe with a forward pass instead of a lateral.
Gain of 8, got a first down out of it. There was a flag down, but as you saw, it was waved off. So 1st and 10 from their own 32 for Regis here. This near side hash mark, high snap, didn't matter. Hit it off to the first man through, hit, and a nice spin out of it. Chiku Martinez got what he could, but Creek did a nice job of stacking him up. Trey Marini one of the first guys in there from his linebacker spot.
Is it okay for me to go out on a limb and say that's my favorite name of the night so far?
You like
Chiku
that?
Martinez.
Yeah.
I wish that was my name. I would have felt a lot cooler in high school. But cool turns into the way of taking a big hit, taking a spin, and going for extra yardage. You like to see that from your backs.
Let's go with the full name. Cayenne Chiku Martinez
Gotta
is
love
what it
it.
is. That one a little too far out in front for Martinez. Now, I was close to being a lateral there that time. But again, just trying to get guys in space.
Absolutely, and this is kind of what I alluded to just a couple minutes ago. The fact that you run these screen passes like that, or these swing passes, or scat passes is what we would call them. The forward pass allows you to take some chances while still being safe, but if that pass hits the ground, it's no longer a fumble, it's a forward pass and an incompletion. So again, Regis being very careful, very methodical, and trying to wear down this Cherry Creek defense still early here in the first half.
Big 3rd down and 8 here for Regis, but we're going to get a timeout before that happens. Danny Philemon, the coach for Regis, wants to take the timeout. It'll be his 2nd timeout, I believe, here of the half. 5:33 to go and a 12-0 lead. Number 5 Regis up on number 1 Cherry Creek. It's the Post Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
With the largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at AFW.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere.
Have you checked the latest Colorado Preps Power Rankings? They're released weekly at denverpost.com/preps. Again, that's denverpost.com/preps.
This is week 1. We got a good one going right here. Number 5 Regis. Up 12-0. Lamb in trouble here. Escapes for the moment, throwing it essentially away. That's one way to get it done. And look who was out there in the pattern. Tama Tuateli. They tried to get him loose, but Creek was wise to it.
Guy that's really been prevalent on the defensive side of the ball, trying to get in the mix offensively. But one of the hardest things a quarterback can do as a right-handed quarterback is to roll to his left-hand side and still be able to push the ball downfield. Now, if you're a college coach, that's what you're looking for out of these guys at quarterback. And you can see some of those signs from Padilla. You can see some of those signs from Lamb. But it's still very, very difficult to complete a pass rolling to your left if you're a right-handed quarterback.
4th down, Regis forced to punt here. Jackson's going to come in, and then we'll get a flag back deep. I think the play clock ran out.
This could be another break for Cherry Creek here. Backing up Regis, this will flip the field position game. This is the opportunity. Right now with 5:26 left here in the 2nd quarter, down 2 scores. If you're Cherry Creek, this is your opportunity to take advantage of Coach Philemon's Regis team.
Under 5.5 here, we'll see. Felt like Regis might try to run away and hide. A rugby style kick goes all the way to the track. Almost there on that far side, but they are not going to kick it to Stanley.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, if you need to, kick it backwards. Just don't kick it to 14.
Yeah, not if you want to win. That's the kind of guy that you want to keep the ball away from and take your chances with everybody else except for him, because still, even down 2 scores, that is the type of guy that can change the complexion of this game. Now, remember, on the last drive, he got a little dinged up, so it'll be interesting to see how he's moving out there and if he's able to have full range of motion and function.
That was an 11-yard punt.
Wow.
And now in Regis territory, here comes Cherry Creek. Alex Padilla all by himself back there. See if they go hurry up over the top, and looking for Miller, and too deep for Miller to get to.
Looked like he had a guy wide open, just didn't put a little bit too much air under it, and the wide receiver wasn't able to get there. But you see Cherry Creek now trying on that change of possession to take a shot early to see if they could catch that Regis secondary sleeping a little bit. And it looks like there may be a player down deep into the end of the end zone there.
Maybe some cramps going out there. Boy, it is hot It does not feel like fall quite yet, does it?
No, and you know what? We're starting to see that more and more in Colorado sports in the fall. We're not seeing cold until October and November, which is great for us and great for the fans who don't have to sit in all that weather to watch these games. But still a great night. Lights up, Friday night lights. What else would you want? State of Colorado. It doesn't get more beautiful than this. You got two of the best teams in the state battling side by side. This is exactly what you want to see.
We got some scores for you. We'll give this to you in a minute. So if we got a break here on the field, about 5:15 left to go. Want to remind you that American Furniture Warehouse has a huge variety of leather sofas to fit any space, from spacious, luxurious homes to studio apartments. And as always, you'll find quality pieces at the best prices to stay on budget. Find out more, go to afw.com or head to American Furniture Warehouse. Lakewood 21-8 lead. They're playing at home against A West right now. Fountain Fort Carson with the lead over Ralston Valley 7-0. That's in the first quarter. Ponderosa up on Legend 7-0 in the first quarter. Some of the things going on around Class 5A here. Or more whistles. Well, we have more scores. I guess we could, I don't know.
We got more whistles here than at a train station. It's been interesting tonight. A lot of stoppages, but see, and I wonder if this is, every time Cherry Creek starts to get some momentum and starts getting the rhythm, have the things in this game start to tilt their way, it seems like every single time a whistle, an injury, a play that shouldn't be made, especially under a team coached by this coaching staff here at Cherry Creek. This is the #1 team in the state right now. I mean, it's very interesting to see the #1 team in the state have this many issues early in the game. Now, I fully expect that when we come out of the second half, Cherry Creek's going to be a different team. That's what I would fully expect. But right now, still a lot of confusion on the faces of the Cherry Creek Bruins.
Yeah, you got to figure that all gets cleaned up. Second down and 10. Padilla all by himself, going to step out of the pocket on the run and finds Stanley in a little open space. Little juke to the outside, headed to the end zone. Will he get there? Not quite, but real close. In space. Bryce Sloan saves the touchdown.
This is why we talked about that CU Buffs. Stanley can change the game on one play here. A great cut to the outside, gets upside the outside line there, and has some good blocking out there in front. Almost got into the end zone, just a little bit short, stepped out early. But you see the type of difference that this kid can make when Padilla stays composed. Had an opportunity to run and decided instead to keep his eyes down the field, find his receiver Stanley for a big play.
20 yards on the pickup. It's first down and goal now for Cherry Creek. Trying to get on the scoreboard here for the first time in the half. Hand it off up the middle. They'll get it to Henderson that time. The sophomore gets a carry, and he takes it right into the teeth of the defense.
2-yard gain there. Trying to beat him up inside, continuing with, we're going to see a little bit more Pell, I would assume, here, especially in the short yardage situations we're going to have coming up for Creek. But this is paramount. This is paramount for this Cherry Creek team. Down 2 scores, creeping into the smaller parts of 4 minutes here at the end of the first half here. This is a touchdown that they have to put in the end zone. They cannot settle for a field goal. This is 4-down territory if they don't get it on third.
Ball just inside the 8. Padilla looking to throw to the end zone, and boy, popped up in the air. Almost Stanley had to go down to try to get it, and Marshall Parker almost came up with the pick.
It looked like he tried to squeeze one in there. Had Stanley on the outside. I think that's who he wanted to get early. And it looked like Stanley fell down again, talking to the refs again. Come on, young man, you got to stay with the game. You cannot allow these outside forces to get in your head. You're too talented for that. Padilla almost puts the ball on the money there, but they have to be composed and finish this drive off.
Third and goal from inside the 8. Padilla backing up, setting up the screen. They get it out here to the near side, but there is nowhere to go. Marshall Parker is on it as they tried to just get Henderson out there in space. Also, Charlie Quinn.
Great play by Charlie Quinn there, taking on the outside blocker, extending his arms, reading the runner, making a play with the blocker, shedding the block, and making a play on the ball carrier. a great there must be some great drills going on with this defensive secondary coach here at Regis under the tutelage of Coach Philemon.
Willis on to try the field goal. This is a little shorter than his last attempt from 40. This will be from 28. Got the foot to it that time, and they cracked that goose egg up on the board. Cherry Creek is on the board, and they cut the lead to 9. 3:36 to go here in the first half. It is Regis 12, number 1 Creek 3 on the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American Furniture Warehouse.
Get the Denver Post Preps coverage delivered to your inbox. Sign up for newsletters at denverpost.com/alerts.
Mac Willis with a 23-yard field goal, and Creek is on the board here. Slowly but surely, we've seen them get a little bit better after some confusion early on and some tough breaks that fell their way. Boy, for Regis, though, would you like to just take this ball and run the clock out? Maybe get yourself a touchdown?
I think you would be more than happy to go into the locker room 12-3.
Rojas will put this one into the end zone, so Regis will start from their own 20-yard line. You can see the disgust of Cayenne Chiku Martinez. He wanted to run that one out.
I think he did want a chance at that one. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Philemon does here. With 3:36 left in the half, you got a 9-point lead. You still have a 2-possession lead over Cherry Creek. Now, you gave them a little bit of momentum back, and I think Dave Logan in his head was thinking, we need to get some points on the board. Whether it's a touchdown, whatever it is, we need to have some momentum going into halftime. If Cherry Creek can get a stop here, that can make things very interesting at the end of this first half. But will Regis attack, or will Regis run the clock out and be happy with a 9-point lead going into halftime?
Here we go. It is Justin Lamb, the senior quarterback. He's going to send Jackson off to the side, and then a flags, I should say, multiple. We get another procedure penalty this time.
Maybe we're seeing a little change of the guard here. Cherry Creek finally gets on the board. We get a little mind lapse from Regis early on here. This is the time for Cherry Creek if they want to change this momentum and really get back into this game and make Regis a little bit nervous here and Coach Philemon a little nervous. This is the time.
Snap to Lamb. He's looking here to the near side. Oh, on the slant, and the ball will roll harmlessly to the turf. But boy, Aubrey Marshall Parker had it in his hands for a moment.
I tell you what, if Marshall Parker catches that, that's either a touchdown or a hospital ball, one or the other, because it looked like the safety was coming over, but at the end of the day, that's one man to beat. Dropped the ball there, maybe heard some footsteps. Coming up now on second down here.
3:32 to go, and again, the clock stops with the incomplete pass. They're going to go back to the ground here. Leaning forward that time, they find a way to get the ball in the hands of Jackson. Again, he didn't play the entire first quarter, and now he's starting to see some carries.
I think this is a kid that they have to get involved offensively, but you see Coach Philemon and all of the offensive staff here taking their time. Let's run this clock. They're very content with the lead that they have right now. You see them taking their time, looking to the sidelines as the crowd starts to get into it with a light show. Gotta love that, but Regis has to stay focused here and be careful.
Third down and 12. Remember, there was the procedure penalty that backed up Regis here. A little read option, then give it to the first man through, trying to bounce his way to the outside, and he got set up, and Jackson then got knocked down viciously. Graham Groth was the first guy to get there, and then two other blue shirts knocked him down.
I'm be honest, I am enamored with what's going on in the crowd over there.
How about that?
It really catches your attention. You love to see the kids out. It's the first game of the season. The home crowd and the visiting crowd both getting into it. This is what you love to see. This is what you get excited about when you talk about Colorado football here, high school football. But Cherry Creek coming up with a big stop here. The momentum has swung, and now you still got 2 minutes left on the clock.
A punt here, and going away from Stanley, and it'll be grabbed by Jackson. He was hoping somebody might have touched it. Not going to allow Stanley to get anywhere near it. That was as close as the ball has come on a kickoff or a punt to Stanley.
And I think Coach Philliman may still have a conversation with his punter and say, hey now, we're getting a little too close to this kid. We saw what he did on the last drive as far as being explosive. Let's make sure we keep that away. But Cherry Creek, little momentum here. Even if they can get down and kick a field goal and make this a one-possession game, we're having a different conversation coming out of halftime. But can Regis stay stout, continue to make plays defensively, and stall out Cherry Creek and keep this lead?
65 yards to go. They got 2 minutes to get it done. We'll see if they go into that hurry up here. Alex Padilla, the junior, at quarterback, surveying things, and it looks like that right tackle jumped. Unfortunately, that's Lynn, the junior. We'll see, though. And the edge rusher was
they marked it off on the defense.
Good.
Looked like that might have been Heimlicher on that one.
He was trying to time it. He just got into the neutral zone.
Maybe a little antsy. We saw him jump offensively early on in the game, now jumping defensively, maybe getting a little antsy here, but giving a free 5 yards to Cherry Creek, only 10 yards away from midfield. Remember, a field goal, now they've had some struggles with that, the first two, but if they can get back into field goal range or threaten with a score, this could change how Regis views things.
But he is all by himself back there. Got a lot of time, too. They only rushed 4. Stanley catches, steps out of bounds at the 47-yard line. He had to go up high to get that one, and Chico Martinez on the coverage.
And here we go. You see Stanley and Padilla starting to get comfortable with each other. This is the matchup. This is what we expected to see from the very beginning of the game from these two. This is what we expected. And it looks like Regis, because they struggled early on, Cherry Creek did offensively, Regis backed off a little bit, and now you're starting to see Cherry Creek attack and take advantage of those opportunities.
13 yards on the pitch and catch from Padilla to Stanley. Here we go, first down and 10 now for the Bruins. Down by 9, a lot of time, and now Padilla's going to take off and run and slide down right about the 43-yard line. He's not going to take any hits. Remember, he only played 4 games last year.
Absolutely, and I think that may be coaching as well during this offseason. Look, if you've got open room, take it. But if you see some defenders coming your way, aid on the side of caution, and please get down because we need you this year.
Clock still rolling as Padilla takes the snap, and he's got Stanley who falls down at about the 34-yard line. Clock will stop because the chains are going to move here.
Great play by Padilla, great route by Stanley. But you notice Padilla was already set before Stanley made his break. Great play by Padilla, waiting, biding his time, and connecting with Stanley.
9 yards on the pickup, another first down and 10. Padilla slings it to the side here. It is caught at about the 27-yard line there. How about that? Found himself just enough of an open window, and Pell with the catch.
Great composure from Padilla in this offense right now.
Gain of 6. They will clock it here with 1:03 to go. Padilla will pound it into the turf to stop the clock. It'll bring up a third down here and about 4.
That one's a little interesting to me, because if I'm reading the board right, it looks like you got a couple of timeouts up there. Interesting to take the loss on the down there instead of taking a timeout. Oh, I'm sorry, they are out of timeouts.
Okay.
Excuse me. So that makes absolute sense now why you would spike that.
All right. They reset here, and now Regis is going to take their last timeout. Okay. They'll give us a chance to take a break here as well. Post-Preps Game of the Week. It's presented by AFW.
Broncos quarterback situation. Did you see that triple-double Nikola Jokic put up? And how about that walk-off home run at Coors Field last night? I'm Alexis Perry, and I've got all of those stories and more right here with the Denver Post Sports Minute. Stay up to date with the Broncos, Rockies, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rapids, and even college sports. You're busy, we get it. That's why the quick-hitting Denver Post Sports Minute is so easy to find. Just go to denverpost.com/video or like us on Facebook to have the Sports Minute on your newsfeed each and every day. Wherever you are, whenever you want it, watch the Denver Post Sports Minute 24.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Stutler ball. 2-minute drill going for Cherry Creek. They're trying to get a little bit closer here as they find themselves down to Regis. 3rd and 10. Padilla in the pocket, in trouble. Spins out of trouble like Houdini, but the ball is knocked away here on the inside. I have no idea how he escaped that. It was Charlie Quinn that ended up knocking the ball away. He was trying to find Pell here on the near side.
Great play by Padilla, but it looks like it will be for naught. It looked like there was a holding on the interior of the offensive line there for Cherry Creek. That is going to be huge for them. Even though the ball was dropped, you would have had a 4th and 4 right there at the 28-yard line. Now you're looking at least the 38-yard line. Takes you out of field goal range where you struggled early already. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Logan does here.
There was a bit of a discussion on the sideline with the Whitecap and talking with Coach Philemon over there. You wondered if they thought about maybe wiping it and not taking the penalty, but that's risky on 4th and 4 because you know Creek would take that.
Absolutely. I think that's probably what was going through his head early on. Make it 4th down, see if they're going to kick it, but that's way too close with only 4 yards to go to get a first down.
Seems like an eternity still left, just under a minute. Padilla here on a long 3rd down. Fires it over the middle. It's caught inside the 20-yard line. It is a first down. Oh, the ball pops loose. It's still on the ground. Who's got it? Marcus Miller with the catch, and then he coughed it up.
Wow. Huge, huge loss there.
It is just football. Watch this. He's struggling for extra yardage. He was never down. Actually landed on a Regis player, and he hooked it on.
That is one of the toughs. That's a tough break. That is a tough break. Not only to be backed up all that way, 3rd and a mile, you pick up the first down, you do what you're supposed to do as an offense. That's just hanging onto the ball, completely kills the momentum for Cherry Creek now in the first half, and I would fully expect Regis to be content with running the ball out here and getting rid of this clock.
Well, they put trips up top, as you could see. And a little option play, get it out to Jackson here, who sheds a tackler, and the ball got loose. Who's on it? Oh, Regis fell on top of it. Jackson trying to get some extra yardage. That ball came uncovered, and oh man, Marshall Parker, right place, right time, fell on top of it.
It looks like we know why that ball may have come out. Sometimes when you see players that get injured, sometimes they have a tendency to just drop that ball, and with DJ Parker down, that could be a huge loss for Regis going forward, and they're very lucky to get back on that ball here.
Yeah, Jackson is still down there. They're going to keep an eye on it. We've only got about 39 seconds here as they take a look. Let's take a break here. We'll come back. We'll get you some scores from around Class 5A as we wind down toward the end of this first half. Regis with the lead. It's the Post-Preps Game of the Week.
The largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
DJ Jackson was helped off the field, not putting any weight on that left leg.
Very, very unfortunate to see a kid with that much potential go down so early.
All right, seconds left here in the half. They run a little option play. Lamb's going to go up top. Oh, he's got Marshall Parker, but throws it over the top of him. Little stop and go play that time, and he got behind Johnson.
And you wonder if Coach Philemon has a great amount of confidence in his defense right now, taking some shots when he could very easily run this clock out. No timeouts on either side for Cherry Creek or for Regis. Very interesting that he's still continuing to take shots, which allows the clock to be stopped, which could leave some time for Creek, seemingly, depending on what happens here on this next down.
You're either not comfortable with your lead, or you're wondering if Creek is going to be lulled back into kind of that sleep mode that they were in to start the game out. It felt like they weren't quite ready to play, but so far they've covered it after giving up the two quick scores.
They fought really hard here in the second quarter to kind of turn the tables, even this game out a little bit. And at the end of the day, folks, we're talking about 9 points. Yeah. This is not an eternity for them to come back.
I'll go back to the ground here and ducking his way inside Chiku Martinez. You could bet he's got both arms wrapped around that football as he goes to about the 33-yard line. It is a first down, so the clock stops at 20 seconds.
And once they set the ball here, this may be it for the half. Coach Filliman may be content here to say, look, we got a 9-point lead. We've had a heck of a first half. Defensively, they have been all over the place, and this is one of the best defensive teams in the state last year.
Oh, he wants the snap. He's going to get it off to Chiku Martinez again, who's going to spin his way forward to about the 42-yard line, and that's where the half will end. First half highlights, well, they came super early, 12-3 as Regis jumped out very quickly. Should we do them now, or you want to do them after the break? Let's roll the highlights here, and this is where it started. The fumble on the punt, and it is scooped up and taken all the way back for a touchdown. Adam Smallwood on the spot on that muffed snap. Raul Rojas there was the one who could not hold on to it. As we watch them streaming into the tunnels here, that's what started it, and then the pick six by Rowe, and that made it 12-0. A field goal late in that second period, and so it's only a 9-point deficit. Halftime here. Hey, Kyle Newman's going to join us when we come back. It is the post-preps game of the week, and a bit of an upset being worked here. It's all presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
Want to be part of the next post-preps TV broadcast? Pull out those phones. If you've got video of an amazing high school sports highlight, we want to see it. Send it to us so you could be featured in the social spotlight segment of Post-Preps TV. Tweet it to us at Post-Preps or at Kyle Newman DP, or send us a message on our Facebook page. Your clip might make the cut and be featured on the next episode of Post-Preps TV. Colorado's news, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7, denverpost.com/DPTV. Don't want to miss any of our Post-Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
And welcome back to the Post-Preps game of the week. Number 1 Cherry Creek and number 5 Regis. Regis with the early lead here at halftime, 12-3 over Cherry Creek. And we are now joined by Mr. Post-Preps himself, Kyle Newman. Kyle, we wanted to welcome you in. I know you had some great things going on here at Cherry Creek. You had some fans there, you had some parents, you asked some questions, great atmosphere, and actually we have a clip of that. We're going to go to that first real quick and show you kind of what you got into here at Cherry Creek.
Hey everybody, welcome to Post-Preps Game Day. I am Preps Editor Kyle Newman out here at Cherry Creek High School ahead of a huge matchup, number 5 Regis at number 1 Creek tonight at the Stutler Bowl, 7 p.m. Of course, you can stream that live online on our Facebook page at Denver Post Prep Sports and at denverpost.com/preps. That game brought to us by American Furniture Warehouse. And before we get to the action tonight, I'm here today on campus with head coach Dave Logan and wideout Dimitri Stanley. So, Coach Logan, I'll start with you. 19-7 loss to these guys last year. What are some immediate keys right off the bat to get a win tonight?
Well, we have to play better. We have to, you give credit where credit is due, and I thought Regis played better than we did in the first game last year.
You started, 5 sophomores on offense last year. Is that going to pay off, you think, this year?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's always, I've never done that in my coaching career where 5 sophomores on one side of the ball, and they just were the best players. They gave us the best chance to win. So there's a growing stage, a growing phase when you do that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, Dimitri has had a great offseason.
You were all Colorado last year, going to see you. I know a lot of hype around your own career personally, but I mean, what does it mean for you to have this opportunity in front of you senior year and potentially a state championship team here at Cherry Creek High School?
Man, it's just really exciting. I'm really confident about the team we brought back this year, and I think we can do some special things on offense and defense. I think once we finally get rolling, we should be a hard team to beat. We definitely have a lot of young guys on the team, so I think we got to make sure that their head is in it. We got to make sure that they're ready to deal with the crowd, deal with the fans, deal with all that, and be prepared, be as prepared as they can for Regis. Come and support Creek, and hopefully we can get this win.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Cherry Creek High School, for having us out here. It's an awesome game day show, and be sure to head to denverpost.com/preps.
It looked like a great atmosphere there. Kyle, why don't you kind of tell us the sights and sounds and talking with Coach Logan, what you kind of came away with?
Yeah, D, so that was our post-preps game day show that you saw there. Very similar in style to the college game day show, made famous by ESPN. Each week throughout the season, we'll be going to a school associated with the post-preps TV broadcast. Obviously, this week, went out to Cherry Creek with the Bruins, taking on Regis Jesuit. Talked with Coach Logan, Dimitri Stanley, just previewed the game, and made another prediction. Last week, I took Mullen over Pomona. We all know how that turned out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this week, I got Creek over Regis. So far on the short end of that, and Coach Logan, as you mentioned on the broadcast, got to be a little frustrated. Defense pitches a shutout, and he's down 9 points a half.
Yeah, this is tough right now. This is tough for him, but I know these two coaching staffs are great coaching staffs. These are two of the best programs in the state. I know they will both come out from halftime prepared, but if you're in that Cherry Creek locker room right now, Kyle, what are you telling the team right now? What are you telling them that they need to do in order to get back into this game and kind of take control?
I think Coach Logan and his staff just got to go Aaron Rodgers on them, relax, because I ranked them the #1 team in the post-preps preseason power rankings for a reason. They got so much returning talent. They got, an epic coaching staff, as highlighted by, Mr. Seven Rings himself, Dave Logan.
Absolutely.
So if they come out and play to their capabilities, I think they can get back in this game. I mean, 9 points, like you mentioned, really is not anything for this Creek offense. But then you look at the Regis defense playing out of their minds as well. Jake Heimlicher really anchoring that front rush and putting Padilla in some situations where he's made some nice plays, but it seems like he's got guys in his face just about every time he drops back.
Absolutely, and it's wonderful right now that we're going to post-preps TV. It gives people an opportunity to watch these games, get used to these players, get used to the names, so that way it's not just the televised games once you get to the state playoffs, but this is a great opportunity for the people of the state of Colorado to kind of stay in tune with the articles that you're doing, the teams that you're focusing on. Tell us a little bit more about this post-preps TV project that we got going on.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's in conjunction with Phil Mildren, our good friend here, doing all the production and really just bringing it out to the grassroots level. As you mentioned, a lot of the years the championship games get broadcast, but really want to bring it out to the big game each week and really get that grassroots feel going with that game day show, getting the student sections involved in it. And it's great to see so far here, early part of the season, those non-conference matchups, going to be some tantalizing ones like this one tonight. And it was interesting what Coach Logan said on the game day show today. It's going to be a big game tonight, but it will not be the biggest game that Creek or Regis play this season. Really a primer, but a big primer at that. And right now, the Raiders really in control. You got to feel good if you're Coach Philman, coming out of the locker room. And I was talking with him the other day. feeling good about his quarterback, Jake Lamb, even though he doesn't have any offers. 6'5" kid who could use this senior year and maybe a second half if he comes out and plays well to really start to get some traction there college recruiting-wise.
And actually, so far in this game, we're seeing shades of last year's game, which ended up 19-7 for Regis.
Yeah.
We're kind of headed in that same direction. But as we talked about this great schedule here for Post Preps TV, we've got another great game next week between Arapahoe and Heritage. Can you give us a little bit of a preview on that?
Yeah, the Milk Jug game, and classic LPS rivalry between these two squads, Arapahoe and Heritage. And as Cory mentioned earlier on the broadcast, Arapahoe got their first Division I player in a decade in lineman Blake Corrett. He's really kind of leading them, trying to get on the up and up. And then Tyler Knobloch and his program over there at Heritage, he's got a bunch of playmakers as well, so it should be a great game. And Heritage 4A, Arapahoe 5A, but that really hasn't, doused the rivalry at all.
Sure.
It's still really hype, and I'm an Arapahoe grab myself.
Uh-oh.
I'll try and stay
so
out of it.
I was going to say, how are you going to make this pick next week? How are you going to do this?
I'm leaning towards Arapahoe just because they've trended that way.
No, come on, Kyle.
But hey, you'll have to tune into the game day show to see the exact pick. And as the Pomona players did last week, if I'm wrong, you can troll me on Twitter at Kyle Newman DP. And Regis players on track to do that tonight after the game.
Absolutely. And we really appreciate you joining us. This is a great halftime to kind of introduce you to some people that may not know you. But real quick before we break, I want to give you an opportunity to let everybody know where they can reach out to you, where they can find your articles, and where they can hit you up on Twitter.
Yeah, denverpost.com/preps is the place to be for football, softball, volleyball, all kinds of fall sports. On Twitter at Kyle Newman DP and at Post Preps. And of course, on our Facebook page, if you're watching this broadcast, you're probably there. Facebook.com/postpreps. D, I appreciate it, man.
Kyle, always a pleasure. We're glad that you joined us. We're getting ready for second half action here. If you want to reach out to Kyle, if you don't like his picks, make sure you hit him up on that Twitter page. We're going to take a quick break. Cory and I will be right back for the second half of number 1 Cherry Creek and number 5 Regis here on Post Preps TV.
Broncos quarterback situation. Did you see that triple-double Nikola Jokic put up? And how about that walk-off home run at Coors Field last night? I'm Alexis Perry, and I've got all of those stories and more right here with the Denver Post Sports Minute. Stay up to date with the Broncos, Rockies, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rapids, and even college sports. You're busy, we get it. That's why the quick-hitting Denver Post Sports Minute is so easy to find. Just go to denverpost.com/video or like us on Facebook to have the Sports Minute on your newsfeed each and every day. Wherever you are, whenever you want it, watch the Denver Post Sports Minute 24/7 at denverpost.com.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
With the largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere, anytime.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Halftime here from Stutler Bowl. Week 1, and we get a good one. Number 1, Cherry Creek finds themselves down to number 5, Regis, 12-3. Welcome back. I'm Cory. Lopez D. White alongside here, and coming out of the conversation with Kyle Newman and the rankings that are out there. Slow start. This is the first game of the season for both of these teams, and it's looked like it at times.
Absolutely. A little bit of confusion on the Cherry Creek side, and Regis kind of staying stout and staying consistent.
Taking it about the 6-yard line, and that will be Marshall Parker into the wedge. He goes, got it to about the 25-yard line. He gets pushed back another 5, but Regis will start with the football.
This is an opportunity for Cherry Creek. Maybe to kind of gain some early momentum here in the second half. Defensively, they've been pretty good. I mean, if you look at the 2 touchdowns, it had nothing to do with the defense, as you alluded to earlier, Cory. A shutout for this defense so far. So if they can get a 3-and-out or a quick drive here for Regis and get the ball back, that's exactly what this Cherry Creek defense is going to be looking to do.
Justin Lamb has been a little off tonight, but he hasn't had to be on yet to this point, and they've kind of stayed on the ground, eating up some of that clock. The senior quarterback sounds like he's changing things up. Chiku Martinez resets to the right side here, and that's who's going to get the football, and he's got some room around that right side. Hit straight up and knocked down. Boy, that was a blow there by Graham Groth. We've called his name a few times, but not before he gets to the 37.
That was a side adjustment by Justin Lamb there. Lamb saw that everybody had collapsed on the long side of the field or the wide side of the field, and it was just a quick handoff, a quick read, but there wasn't really a whole lot of mesh there because they wanted to quickly get outside, which they did, and picked up a quick first down.
Got 11 yards out of it. Here we go for the Raiders, leading by 9, and they get the football out of the half. Lamb rolls here to the near side, finds his man, and it's Smallwood as he is ridden out of bounds right near the midfield stripe there. On the coverage was Rayshawn Johnson, but another big chunk of yardage.
It seems as though we haven't called Smallwood's name since earlier in the game, and he was the guy that kind of sparked things for Regis, returning the fumbled punt, or mishandled snap, sorry, from the punter, and ran it back for a touchdown early. Since then, we haven't talked about him, but a great catch there, great route, being smart, getting out of bounds, and picking up the yards he needs for the first down.
Our early candidate for the American Furniture Warehouse Player of the Game, potentially. We'll name that at the end of the game, by the way. And little option play, they kick it out here, and Chiku Martinez spins for about a yard. That's a lot of abuse to just get a yard out of it.
And I've also noticed on that play, excuse me, there was a fake that was given to nobody. A fake given to air, and that's happened twice. So I don't know if that's designed or this is something that is a mishap more than once now. So either Coach Philemon is going to be getting in somebody's face mask, or this is a designed action, which really leaves your cornerback wide open. So I'm hoping that there's some kind of confusion on that side, or else Lamb may have some enemies from Cherry Creek coming his way.
Gunnar Garcia and Trey Marini, that is, on the tackle that time. This time, play action, reach it out, making the catch. Oh, ball's on the ground. Regis, no. Creek will have it. That's the big question. Looks like they're going to spot it down. Now who's on top of it? Mendenhall appears to have fallen on it.
Boy, it looked like Creek snuck in there and got their hands on that. Take a look at the replay. Great read. Great catch by Heimlicher. Heimlicher does take 2 steps, so that is a catch. A great hit there from the safety, jarring the ball loose, but Regis very fortunate to have the opportunity to jump back on that ball and continue the drive.
Ball's bouncing the Raiders' way. It's up to the 39-yard line, and a gain of 11. On this drive, gains of 11, 12. They got a yard, and then on that play, despite the fumble, another 11 yards on the pickup. And a whistle's going to stop this one. Oh, they had a little trickeration ready to go there that time as Marshall Parker was coming off the edge on the end around.
Oh, God, that kills a coach. Kills a coach. When I coached high school football here,
run it.
Man, that kills you. That kills you because the one time you want to run it, now the defense knows. And now the defensive coordinator is telling his guys, okay, when we see this, we know what's coming.
Defender lined up in the neutral zone, so they'll get an extra 5 out of it here. But I think that Coach Philemon was thinking more than 5 yards on that play.
But don't be surprised if we see that a little bit later on. Wait until Cherry Creek kind of falls asleep a little bit, and Coach Filliman may try and sneak that one back in there again.
1st and 5 now for Justin Lamb and the Raiders. Trips up top, smacks the hands, wants the ball, and hands it off to the first man through. And again, that's going to be Marshall Parker. So he goes right into the teeth of the defense again. Nicholas Wright on top of him to get him down.
One thing I did see coming out from halftime, DJ Jackson now on the sidelines, kind of jogging a little bit. Looks like he's making some movement on that knee or ankle, the lower leg injury that we saw earlier. Don't be surprised if we get him back. But they're trying to find other guys that are explosive, like Marshall Parker, and other guys that can really open things up for the Regis offense.
Yeah, Marshall Parker's been the workhorse essentially tonight here. 2nd and 1 from the Creek 31-yard line. Parker's got it again, trying to get to the edge, and he will. Gets tripped up, but falls ahead for the first down to the 26-yard line. That could have been much bigger. Somebody got him on the shoestring.
Chico Martinez, he is very short, very stout, and very quick. He makes quick decisions, puts cuts in the ground, but every once in a while, that turf monster will reach up and grab that ankle every once in a while.
Boy, Martinez, he was so close to getting to that edge there. All right, up to the 26-yard line and a gain of 5. Boy, you get 5 yards on each one of your runs here, and you can run the clock down and get into the red zone. Rolling this way, Lamb wide open, and Mendenhall dropped it. Took a peek to his left to see who was coming to get him.
That's a case of being too wide open.
Yeah.
Sometimes you allow yourself to creep in your own head when you start thinking, when you're that wide open, you're not thinking about catching the ball. You're thinking about what I'm going to do after I catch the ball. And he thought a little bit too much about the after than the before. Got to make sure you hang on to the ball first, then make your move.
Sorry, Cade, I don't want to put that on you. That wasn't Mendenhall. That was actually Adam Smallwood that was taking a peek there. So the senior, he had a lot of room. I think he was surprised he was that open. 2nd and 10, going up over the top. Caught down at the 3-yard line. That one. And there is Aubrey Marshall Parker.
Marshall Parker again becoming the guy. Becoming the guy for Regis already this season. Now they're pulling him out, trying to give him a break. I'm sure they're going to be trying to get him back in pretty quickly here. But you like to see that Regis is not sitting back, not just trying to run the clock, but they're trying to push downfield and really take control of this game and try and put it away.
24 yards on the catch to Marshall Parker. And now Regis knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 2. Justin Lamb clapping the hands. Wants the ball. Option, they kick it out. That's Chico Martinez. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Regis.
Going wild here. The extension for Regis, and ironically enough, last year's game ended up 19-7. With the extra point here, we're talking about a 19-3 game. Very eerily close to last year's game. And to look at some extracurricular activities after the play here, maybe against Cherry Creek, we'll have to take a look at what the refs call here.
We saw in the replay there, that was just speed getting to the end zone. It was so well blocked on the edge, he just needed to get to the end line.
With a guy like Chico Martinez, all you have to do is give him a small sliver. He is so quick. Good foot frequency, which is a coach's term for how quickly you can pick those feet up and put them back down on the ground. What that allows you to do is make those cuts and find those alleys when you can constantly keep your feet underneath you to make those cuts.
Well, let's see. It's been an adventure on the extra points or the 2-point conversions, whatever they decide to do here.
A little bit of both sometimes.
Cuzio started to head out there, the kicker, and now he will make his way out there as Regis will just kick for the single point here.
It seems like Coach Filliman is a little bit more content with really trying to play with that idea. We're just going to set up in it and say, nah, we'll kick the extra point.
Make it 2. You get away from the 2-touchdown, 2-point conversions to tie you up. The extra point this time snuck over the crossbar.
Wow. The kicking game has been left a little bit to be desired tonight, although one good field goal and a couple of good extra points. But right now, you have to wonder what's going through the head of guys like Dimitri Stanley, guys like Padilla, What are these guys thinking now? Because these are kids we're talking about here.
Right.
These are high school kids, 13, 14 years old to 17, 18 years old. And you wonder what a type of a deficit with so much buildup for a team like Cherry Creek, being named #1 in the state of Colorado by Kyle Newman in post-preps. You wonder if sometimes that creeps into your head, especially in that first game. In that first game, you say to yourself, we're #1. Right? These guys have to come and play with us. But if you don't show up, you allow a team that has everything to play for and a team that beat you last year. And now you're in your own home, in your own house, and this is an opportunity for you to come out swinging, and Cherry Creek has just not done it so far.
9 plays, 74 yards, took 3 minutes, 59 seconds off the clock here, and a comfortable lead of 19-3, but you never know. Creek looked good toward the end of that first half. They're not going to get a chance to return it because of the penalty that marched them forward. Hey, we want to remind you, make your hard-earned money go farther at AFW this Labor Day. They have a huge variety of sectionals to fit any space, from spacious, luxurious homes to even the studio apartments. As always, you find quality pieces at the best prices to stay on budget. Go to AFW.com.
Cory, I got to be honest. At least half of my apartment right now came from American Furniture Warehouse. So I'm very glad that they are the sponsor. Now I'm going to talk to Phil and see if I can't get a couple of ottomans or some end pieces out of this deal. He doesn't even have to pay me. He can pay me an American Furniture Warehouse furniture.
Have to accessorize, don't you?
Absolutely.
There's Pell, upright running forward, and a big chunk of yardage up to about the 27-yard line. So a quick run of 7 here, but still down on the ground. Well, Pell is down. Let's take ourselves a break while they check him out as the trainers come out to check. I think we may have a cramp going here. Break here. We'll come back. It's the Post-Preps Game of the Week presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
With the largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at AFW.com, and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
A little slow to get up here. That is Gino Macias, who we've called his name out multiple times. And maybe just a cramp, we're hoping. The gain of 7 there for Creek to get started off as they try to get themselves back in this ballgame, D.
Also, something interesting that we saw on that kickoff, I don't know if you noticed it, but DJ Jackson was out there on the kickoff, so we maybe could see him offensively for Regis when they get the ball back.
Run Miller in motion here to the left side. Padilla's got all day to throw this thing over the middle. It is tipped. They were looking for Stanley, but Ben Hecht got his big paw up there and knocked it down.
The 6-foot senior there, able to get his hand up and knock the ball down. If not, we're talking about a huge gain possibly for Stanley and this Cherry Creek offense. Again, now we're in crunch time again. 3rd and 3 on our own side of the 50. This is an opportunity for you to get a first down. Now, you don't have to be a superstar here. You don't need 10, 12, 15, 20 yards. Get 3, get the first down, and continue the drive.
Padilla under center, gives it off as they go to that I set, but Pell is stuffed at about the 29-yard line. And boy, guess who? Tama Tuatela, one of the first guys leading that charge.
Tuatela is is quietly making a case for himself as the American Furniture Warehouse player of the game right now. Early on has created pressure defensively. We saw him offensively make some plays, and now the senior is continuing to drive this Regis defense to put stops after stops after stops together. So Cherry Creek now, are they going to take a chance here? 4th and 1, are they going to try and get Regis to jump, or are they actually going to go for it?
It's a giant decision here. Eye set, they're going to go. Give it to Pell, sidestep to the 30, he's got it, and the pile gets pushed forward to the 32-yard line.
They had a need, and not a need for speed, but a need for Pell to get this first down, which is exactly what they ended up with. A huge decision there by Coach Logan, and Coach Philemon probably pinching himself there with the opportunity to stop them on their side of the 50, but nothing doing with Pell, upright runner, the Eric Dickerson type that we talked about, picking up the first down there with some tough running.
Got 4 yards out of it. There's a 1.5 left here, but you start to feel like for Creek, they haven't been able to get anything going. You got to get a drive going and down to the end zone. Miller with the catch, little spin move, nifty little move to the 39-yard line that time.
I've got to give some props here to the offensive line of Cherry Creek. They're starting to create a pocket. They're giving Padilla time. He looks way more comfortable back there right now than he did all of the first half. But I have to give some love to the big guys because I'm a fellow big guy myself, and I would be remiss if I did not mention those big guys up front.
Yeah, Lee, Lynn, Paletto, Williams, McCann, certainly getting it done. Tackle was made, by the way, by Charlie Quinn, who was kind of out on an island that time. 2nd down at 4, and hit as he throws. Padilla going up top, and he luckily threw it over the top of everybody because Rowe was tracking that one.
Now, I'm sure you're a fan of Any Given Sunday. You've seen the movie.
Absolutely.
We talk about all the time in football, this is a game of inches. In a game of a game that comes down to seconds. And in that instance, if Padilla maybe gets another second there, that could have been wide open for Stanley, and we may be talking about a score. But that's what this football game is all about, is those inches, those seconds. I would give you an Al Pacino impression, but I don't know if I can do it. But these are the things that make the difference in games.
3rd and 4, Padilla with the option, kicking it out to Pell, who's trying to dance his way forward, falls, he's close to the 43-yard line.
One thing that I notice about Pell is as big as he is, as tall as he is, as the late flag comes in here, very shifty. Very good lateral movement for a guy that runs so high and is such a bigger player.
And Jake Heimlecher is the guy who was in on the tackle. He's the one that was, well, talking to the referees at the time. Here's the call. A personal foul against Regis here. So it looked like it was enough for another 15 yards.
This is starting to shape up for exactly what Cherry Creek needs to kind of work their way back into this game. You're already creeping into field goal range, although we've had some shaky field goals and kicking game earlier in the contest. But this is an opportunity now, and I love to talk about opportunities because I want our audience to understand what's at stake when these teams are on these drives. This is right now, Cherry Creek is fighting for possibly their season. We know how this point system, this RPI system works out now. This could be a huge dent in their year if they can't come through here.
Got to come through, and they go with that quick smoke right to the far side. There's Stanley to the outside, down the sideline. He'll step inside the 30-yard line. You got him just enough space, and boy, he nearly burned you.
I'm Jerry Dale Jr., Jerry Dale Sr., my father. What he would call that kid right there is a water bug. A guy that just kind of skims over the water. If you give him a crease, if you give him a crack, he will find it and is able to turn any one of these plays into an enormous gain. And you're seeing time after time, as long as they continue to get this kid the ball, Stanley is going to produce.
12 yards by Dimitri Stanley, the senior, that time around. He is lined up in the slot here on the near side. You could bet that Regis is going to keep an eye on where he's at the whole time. Quick throw, here he comes to Stanley now as he's going to try to get to the outside. Little hesitation, little shorter gain that time. Rowe will run him out of bounds.
Rowe making a great play there. When you're teaching your defensive backs, when they're covering in space, you want to make sure that they use the sidelines as an extra defender. That gives you a 12th guy defensively. You saw that Rowe and I believe number 7 Mendenhall converged to play the inside of the field and give the only option as the sideline to Stanley, which forced him to get out of bounds. Again, great play consistently from the defensive backs of the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
Second down and 8 now for the Bruins. Here for the near side hash mark. They got them stacked up here on the right side. Timeout. I think this is going to be called by Cherry Creek. We're going to take it with them. 5:02 to go. We're in the third quarter. Creek is driving to get back into this one. It's the Denver Post Prep Game of the Week presented by AFW.
Part of the next Post Preps TV broadcast, pull out those phones. If you've got video of an amazing high school sports highlight, we want to see it. Send it to us so you could be featured in the social spotlight segment of Post Preps TV. Tweet it to us at Post Preps or at Kyle Newman DP, or send us a message on our Facebook page. Your clip might make the cut and be featured on the next episode of Post Preps TV. Colorado's news, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7, denverpost.com/DPTV.
Don't want to miss any of our Post Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
10th play of the drive is coming up here for Cherry Creek at a 2nd and 8 coming out of the timeout here. Padilla by himself in the backfield. Twins either side. They change that formation up a little bit. They're going up top, looking for their man. Caught. Touchdown. They got Marcus Miller out of the slot.
Miller comes through with a huge catch. This completely changes the game. These are these opportunities we got done talking about. And I was talking with the guys during the break about how a huge decision that was to take a timeout, being down 2 scores. If you're not able to convert here and get points, that gives you no option later on in the game to take 3 timeouts to stop a possession in order to get the ball back. But not necessary as they go up top and get a huge score to completely put them back into this game. Now the question is, do they go for 2 here? You go for 2, it becomes a 1-possession game instead of 2.
Alex Padilla to Marcus Miller, 28 yards on that 2nd down and 8. And they are going to go for 2. Padilla is still out there. Snap to him, fade route to the corner.
Got
it. 2-point conversion complete.
Great pass. Great pass by Padilla there. You can't place it any better than that. You want to put it over the outside shoulder of your wide receiver and then get enough for your receiver to go up and make a play. As you're going to see here, look at the air under that ball and what that allows Stanley to do as far as position to bring that down. Folks, we are down to a 1-possession game right now. It's 19-11, only 8 points, 1 possession. Now does Regis, how do they respond here? Did they get a little nervous now? Now this is a game. Or do they continue to control the clock and control the line of scrimmage like they have done all game long?
Pretty nice response for the Bruins there that time. Around 9 plays, 74 yards by Regis. That time, 10 plays, 80 yards by Creek to come back. I think both teams start to get their feet underneath them on the offensive side of things.
This is what we fully expected when we walked into the stadium today.
Yes.
This is what the fans that are in these stands right now fully expected. The hooting and the hollering that we had in the parking lot moved into the stadium. The feeling that you have right now, week 1, Colorado State high school football, it don't get any better than this, baby. 1-possession game left. I'm excited. I just got excited. Let's go, people.
The kick, and this one's headed into the end zone, and once it crosses the goal line, it's automatically a touchback, so that's where Regis will come back out. Well, they just engineered themselves a very nice drive. It's going to fall on Justin Lamb to try to get something else going. Make your hard-earned money go farther. AFW is the place to go this Labor Day weekend. They have over 100 bedroom selections to choose from. Choose from beds, full sets at unbelievable prices. Whether you're looking for traditional elegance, simple, or even the contemporary style, you'll find it at American Furniture Warehouse. Come on in, find the perfect bedroom collection at your hometown furniture store. Here we go, 1st down and 10. Lamb with Chico Martinez on his hip. Chico with the 2-yard run, and he just slipped through and got more than that. Nifty move up to about the 31-yard line there. How about that balance?
Good balance. You took the words right out of my mouth. That was going to be exactly what I was going to say. That low center of gravity for Chico Martinez is a great tool that he's been able to use so far in this game, and I'm sure he'll use throughout the season. But they have to continue to drive the ball here and be smart.
11 yards on that play, rolling Lamb. First receiver's not there. The check down. Did he reach out and snatch that one? You bet. They're going to give it to him. Adam Smallwood with a nice catch.
Now, if you had made that 1 and 8, he almost like McCaffrey there.
Did,
and we talked about Lamb earlier, how hard it is for a right-handed quarterback to roll to the left and still able to get the completion there. This is what we talked about. This is the type of athlete this kid can be, and you're getting some great blocking for the offensive line. He had at least 5, 6, 7 seconds in order to decide what to do with the football.
Can do anything here on 2nd and 1. They're going to give it off to Chico Martinez, and he will forward to about the 47-yard line. Trey Arini got his hands on him but could not bring him down cleanly, and it's another first down.
Mama, there goes that man again. Tree trunk legs, lumberjack. That's what I might have to start calling him, Chico Martinez, the lumberjack. Big tree trunk legs, continuing to drive and drag tacklers and showing great balance again, as Cory alluded to earlier.
8-yard pickup, first down and 10 now for Regis. Trips up top again. Chico Martinez resets to the right side. Whoop. And will jump for the Raiders. So 1st and 10 turns into 1st and 15.
Now this is something that you may not think about here, but I want to make this a point. You're going to start seeing fatigue set in. It's a lot different to perform in a scrimmage. It's a lot different to perform in practice. Now you got a game. You're expending yourself to the full amount of your limits here, and you're going to start seeing when these teams get tired, who's been coached better, who's more disciplined, who's going to be able to maintain their focus and continue to drive as this game gets tight down the stretch.
Snap to Lamb, going back here to the short side of the field. There's a lot of room for Chico Martinez, and he almost ran out of his shoes. Rayshawn Johnson was in front of him to touch him down.
I like when kids give that little giddy up. I like that little Walter Payton move, but you have to be careful. Don't tackle yourself. Yes. It looked like he almost tackled himself there. That's not what you want to see, but you like the activity, the foot frequency that we talked about with Chico Martinez earlier. I like the way that this kid is running the ball right now. He could be sneaking in as the player of the game if he's continuing to run like this.
Certainly could be. 16 yards on the carry there. Another first down for Regis here. And back to the big fella here, across the 40 down to near the 38-yard line, and this time it's Tuatella that will get the carry.
Wow. We're seeing him out of the backfield. We've seen him light up at tight end. We've seen him at linebacker. We've seen him at defensive end. This is another kid that we've talked about for player of the game possibly. But you see these seniors starting to come through for Regis right now. This is crunch time, and you see how long this drive is taking. We may get into the 4th quarter by the time they're done with this. Cherry Creek has got to man up.
They're 2nd and 2, or 5, I should say. Lamb rolling, got some room as they float that pocket, fires it. Oh, it's nearly picked off there. Boy, he had a shot at it. Rayshawn Johnson just couldn't get to it before it hit the turf.
Interesting decision by Lamb there. He had 2 guys in the area, and it looked like he threw the ball right in between the 2 of them. So I don't know if he was expecting one of these receivers to run a different route, and maybe there was some kind of communication breakdown. But a gift for Regis there as far as the momentum game is concerned, because now you still get a 3rd and 6. You have an opportunity to pick up a first down where you could have been on defense right here.
Mentioned that Lamb was a little off in that first half. Didn't have to be real crisp, and then has looked good, certainly on that 9-play drive that he put him into the end zone with. Here comes that reverse, double reverse, coming back the other way. Oh, they're going to throw it to Attella, and it's caught by Lamb at the 19-yard line. I don't know if he caught that, and there's a flag on the play.
What a great play call. They caught him off guard. Lamb is wide open, but just could not get the ball up in the air. But it looks like there may be an illegal man downfield or maybe a defensive holding. This could be against Regis. This could be huge here.
It's against Regis. It's an illegal man downfield. It took a while for it to develop. You've got to hold, and it just didn't happen.
Plus, as an offensive lineman, you don't get a chance to catch the ball a whole lot, and you start to get wondering, well, what's going on down here? And you start to drift a little bit, and before you know it, there's laundry on the field.
So they walk the ball back here to the 43-yard line. Well, a huge play. I'm impressed that Tuatella actually got it down to Lamb because he was falling backwards, getting hit while he let it go.
Absolutely, and now you see him flex in the slot right here, too. They are using him everywhere, as I just saw Smallwood on the sidelines.
Big 3rd and 11 going up top. Parker had to try to make a one-hand catch. He was holding off Johnson while trying to make that catch, and Marshall Parker just could not bring it in.
Marshall Parker, they're taking a shot again. They caught him earlier to get him inside the 5 earlier in the game to lead to another score for Regis, and they thought they might try and catch him again here. But as I just alluded to, I see Smallwood, who's been the most sure receiver for Regis, over here getting stretched out for cramps. And this is that fatigue that I was talking about. It's starting to set in now as we get real close to the 4th quarter here.
Yep, under 2 to go in this quarter now. Big play, 4th and 11. Regis backing up a little bit. Pooch punt coming. Yep, Lamb's going to quickly pooch punt this one. High into the air. Fair catch going to be called by Stanley at about the 17-yard line. That is a dangerous play there as well. That was almost blocked.
You know what? I'm surprised because usually when you go to a pooch punt like that, you tell your quarterback you want to be at least 7 yards away from the center. That way you can at least take 2 steps and get your foot under it. But actually, here's what's interesting. It was an ugly punt. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I love Mr. Lamb here, but that was an ugly punt. But it was effective. He got it high enough in the air that even Stanley, who they've been trying to avoid all night long, gets his hands on it, but has to call the fair catch because of the effectiveness of the height of the punt, but not the length.
All right, Cherry Creek's turn here. They were able to stop Regis, helped out by a penalty as well. Alex Padilla's turn. They try to claw their way back into this one, only down by 1 score. Quick throw out to Miller here. Avoids a tackle, race down the field. He's still in bounds. Tuatella will catch up to him and push him out of bounds. There will be a red flag coming in here from way back behind. We'll have to see if that's on, but how about that? Marcus Miller making the move on the near sideline.
It looks like they may be calling a late clip or a late push in the back as Coach Philemon and the coaching staff is going nuts over here. I cannot figure out exactly what it is as you see the referees huddled up here. Could be a myriad of things. Also, a referee could have maybe run into a coach on the Regis sideline because everything was so tight over there. It'll be interesting to see. This is a huge call in this game. If this play stands, it puts Cherry Creek in great position at the end of the 3rd quarter here. If they have to bring this back for whatever reason, this could really cause some problems and throw a kink in for Cherry Creek.
They are still spotting it at the 35-yard line here, but we'll have to see what happens.
It looks like they're asking Coach Philemon what he wants to do. This may be against Cherry Creek. Let's find out.
49 yards on the catch and run there by Miller. They indeed are walking forward. You can hear the Regis fans. They are not happy with the call.
And with the personal foul there, I don't know that we caught in the replay exactly what happened there, but we're taking a look. And as we watch Miller streak down the sidelines, we don't exactly see why they threw the flag, but it's very interesting because I didn't really see anything that would warrant a personal foul, but that has been called.
Stepped out at the 42. That's why it's where it's at now. Stanley's got it, trying to make his way through. There's nowhere to go. And on the coverage, well, he goes both ways, Marshall Parker.
I think he may be emerging as the player of the game right now, but now we're seeing Stanley make some plays, make some moves. They're getting the ball in his hand. And even though, folks, that he's not going all the way every single time he catches the ball, it's the threat. Yeah. It puts it in the mind of that secondary that every time he touches the ball, that could be it. And now what you may see from Regis, you may see some coverage being rolled to that side, meaning that a safety may favor the side of Stanley instead of the other side. Now you may see some balls going to some other receivers now.
Slot left here. That's the wide side of the field. Padilla's got it, and he's got time. Throws. Stanley can't quite hold on to it as it bounds to the turf. Real high, exposing yourself. He was waiting for the hit when he went up in the air.
He may have heard some footsteps there as well, but it looks like he's starting to wear down. Fatigue again, especially because it's the first game. Now you talk about fatigue all the time, but in the first game, you don't know exactly how much energy you're going to expend unless you're an older player. Maybe some of these seniors may know, but even for them, 45 pounds of pads now that you're getting used to.
Yeah.
Being out here in the lights, you have the pressure of having the fans here. You're playing at home, you're behind. So it's going to be very interesting to see how fatigue continues to affect this game.
3rd and 5 from the Regis 37. Pell back to the ground he goes. It will fall forward to about the 33. It's going to be real close there as Cherry Creek goes back to the ground game.
You know, every time I look at him, I keep mistaking him for 63, one of the Cherry Creek linemen, because he's so big.
Yeah.
We saw a guy last year by the name of Dalton Keene who is built very much like him,
runs like him
very
too,
much
yeah.
like him. I hate to bring that name up, obviously, but now he's at Virginia Tech now.
Yeah.
But that's who he kind of reminds me of. But just the powerful, upright running that we've seen from him has made a difference for this Cherry Creek offense.
Padilla back up under center now with the eye set. They're going to run it forward on 4th and 1. Oh, a last-second push. Might have gotten it done there. Originally, it didn't look like it was going to happen.
It looks like they may have just snuck that one out. I mean, by half a ball length here. They are calling it a first down. A great conversion for Cherry Creek. Again, now a great sustained drive from Regis earlier. Got stalled out. The trick play didn't come to fruition, which could have been a touchdown. Lamb all by himself. Now Cherry Creek switches the momentum again. They are on a long drive as we get to the end of the 4th quarter.
6th play of the drive will be coming up. They've gone for it twice on 4th down in this drive, and Creek is still driving to try to tie this thing up. We got 12 minutes left in this one. Woo! Anything can happen. It's the Post-Preps Game of the Week presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
The Broncos quarterback situation. Did you see that triple-double Nikola Jokic put up? And how about that walk-off home run at Coors Field last night? I'm Alexis Perry, and I've got all of those stories and more right here with the Denver Post Sports Minute. Stay up to date with the Broncos, Rockies, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rapids, and even college sports. You're busy, we get it. That's why the quick-hitting Denver Post Sports Minute is so easy to find. Just go to denverpost.com/video or like us on Facebook to have the Sports Minute on your newsfeed each and every day. Wherever you are, whenever you want it, watch the Denver Post Sports Minute 24/7 at denverpost.com.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Regis holding on to a 19-11 lead here. And when I say holding on, it feels that way, at least on this side of the field.
Absolutely, holding on for dear life. And as I watch these two sidelines, you can definitely tell there is a change in the momentum. There is a change in the body language. Cherry Creek believes that they can win this game, but the question is not so much on Cherry Creek now. Now that they have the momentum, you're expecting them to do well, but can Regis hold tight and not back down and fight against Cherry Creek to try and hold this lead late in the game?
Alex Padilla was just stretching out one of his calves there. Talking about fatigue, he's been doing a lot. Throw back here to the near side, and it's caught. That is Pell. He's got a blocker for a moment, bounce to the outside, and takes it to the 21-yard line there. He was caught by Charlie Quinn. Without Quinn out there, that was another 15 yards.
I'll tell you what, as we see another player down and cramping, but as you watch the replay here, what you saw early on in that replay is number 36, Charlie Quinn, was sitting there. He was in position, and that was a very dangerous pass coming back across his body, leaning back as Padilla throws it. If there's a little bit more awareness from Charlie Quinn, that might have been a pick six rather than a decent game for Cherry Creek. So really taking some chances here.
Yeah.
These kids are putting it all on the line. They're playing their hearts out, and that's all you can expect from a team like this.
While they continue to stretch out there, we'll remind you that it is Labor Day. Go to AFW.com, find great Labor Day specials that they have going on. A large in-stock selection of dining sets to choose from. Upgrade your dining experience with a new stylish dining room group. You can carry a large variety to fit any size space. Whether you're looking for a casual dinette set or formal dining collection, perfect for entertaining, American Furniture Warehouse is your dining headquarters. Scores around the state right now. We kind of keep it on Eagle Crest. Boy, they are pretty good, aren't they?
Man, they look like they're going to be stout this year.
49-7 right now. That's a final, actually. They beat Smoky Hill. Late game, A West has come back on Lakewood. They're up 22-21.
Wow.
Just starting the fourth quarter, so a good one going on there. Valor has started to pull away from Mullen, 28-7. That's in the third period.
We're going to see a lot of movement, I think, in this top 10. Kyle Newman really set us up for some movement in this top 10. This is going to be an interesting year, ladies and gentlemen.
He rubbernecks his way back to us every time. Oh, man. Almost a pick that time. Cade Mendenhall read it, just couldn't get his hands wrapped around it.
Oh, man. That one hurt my chest. Boy, if he takes that, he's gone. He is gone. There is nobody there besides linemen maybe that could really pinpoint him down. Great break on the ball and possibly saved a touchdown on the other end, because if he's not there and Johnny on the spot, that post route, that skinny post that they run right there, that might have been in the end zone.
2nd and 10 now for Creek, just outside the red zone here as we're into the fourth quarter. Padilla looking to the left now, nobody to throw to. Now waits and sets it up. He'll find his man. Dancing his way to about the 15-yard line. That was probably the fourth option as Stacks was there. Got what you could out of it.
Boy, I tell you what, they are really taking some risks with this screen game. One thing that you always tell a young quarterback is never, ever, ever throw late over the middle of the field. That is one thing that you should avoid at all costs. And I tell you what, if I'm Coach Philemon right now, with the way that they're running this screen game, I may take an inside linebacker and spy on those running backs and quarterbacks, and that might be a chance for a turnover later on.
Big 3rd and 4 coming up, but first whistles and a timeout here going to be taken by Regis. So we'll take the break as well. 10:50 to go here in the game. It's only week 1 and some real fireworks going here as Creek is driving to try to tie things up. It's the Post-Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Full crowd here tonight at Stutler Bowl. And a great game going on too. Cory, Lopez, D. White alongside, and big 3rd and 4 for Cherry Creek here in the red zone. Trying to tie things up. Padilla will give off to Pell. Pell going to put the foot in the ground, lean forward, and he's got it up for that first down as he worked off of that right side. Tuatella is there, but again, it was too late.
And really close to that first down marker, and they are going to give it to him. It was really close. It looked like maybe a half a ball length that he got past that again. But it seems like every time they need a big play in crunch time and short yardage, it seems to be Pell every single time.
So at the 11-yard line now for Creek, they just keep working their way through. This will be the 10th play of the drive. Regis led 12-0. A muffed snap and then a pick 6. Oh, ball's on the ground. Right on cue, I say muffed snap and pick 6, and Creek almost put it in.
It looks like a Regis player is down. The player that made the play on that, and I'm trying to see who that is. Looks like it's number 54, Hecht, who made a great play in order to get the stop.
Yeah,
but it looks like maybe that foot got stuck in the ground and maybe a twist on the knee there. Hopefully everything's okay, and they're testing it out now.
Give us a chance to take a look at some scores here and remind you that you make your hard-earned money go farther with AFW this Labor Day weekend. Another final. Boulder goes on the road and wins at All City Stadium. They beat Denver South 27-25.
Wow, that's a huge upset.
4A action for
Great
you there.
win for them.
Stanley Lake a winner. They beat Mesa Ridge 14-10. These are all 4A scores that we're kind of taking a look at here. Everything else I think is still underway. Stanley Lake final, yeah, we've got that one. Again, my computer is, well, seems like it's about 30 years old the way that it's working, and not moving along very quickly at all.
Absolutely, but in this situation now, you're just about at the 10-minute mark. If you're Regis, you've hung in there defensively. You played good defense all game long. You're now just starting to allow Cherry Creek to get some rhythm. This is going to be, to me, this is the drive of the game, as far as I'm concerned. Now, whether they score a touchdown here or even a field goal, Cherry Creek has to come away with points here just for their own psyche, and then because of that, it in turn puts the pressure back on Regis, who now has a slim lead and will have to maintain it, with Cherry Creek now scoring on 2 of their last 3 drives.
Here we go, first down and 8 as it sets up extra second down and 8. They've changed it on the other side. Can get a first down inside the 1-yard line. Padilla, oops, somebody moved.
Fatigue, showing its ugly head again.
It's hard to get those big boys to hold still for a while, and that was taking a while to get that snap off.
And I would put money on it, and I don't have a lot of it, Cory, but if I did have a lot of money, I would put money on it that was a running play. 9 times out of 10, when you see those big offensive linemen, they're not, first of all, they're not going to be coming forward generally on a pass.
Yeah.
As we see
True.
the call here.
They want to fire out, don't
Absolutely. If it's a running play, you're going to see a little bit of that forward lean, and late in this game, and they know that it's been really tough up front, and they want to try and be the first one to contact. Usually the first one to contact is who's going to win in the trenches, and that's why those offensive linemen sometimes get a little bit overzealous. So we'll see how they bounce back here on second down and long.
I'll correct myself here. It is second down. I thought that there apparently was a penalty or something. So it was a 1st and 8, and now it's a 2nd and 13 after the penalty here. It was actually a 2nd and 8, I should say. And Padilla's in trouble and will get sacked for just the 2nd time tonight. Jake Heimlecher finally got in there and got him. He'd been trying all night.
The 22-sack man finally gets back there and gets his hands on Padilla. And a great move around number 75 for Cherry Creek. I believe that's Carson Lee. A great move on him, outside pass rush move. Kind of fought off the inside, but it looks like he may be cramping. Folks, keep an eye on number 15, Heimlecher here, as he kind of pulled up lame towards the end of that play.
Big 3rd and 17 now. Padilla looking to the right side, fires out there, caught near the sideline at about the 9-yard line. That's caught by Miller over there. But again, 4th down coming up.
Boy, I said this was going to be the drive of the game, and this could definitely be it. But it looks like, as I said before, Dave Logan knew he did not have to get a touchdown here. He just needs to get points to maintain. You still got a lot of time left on the clock, 8.5 minutes. Your defense has been playing well except for one drive by Regis, so you got to put points on the board here.
Mac Willis is out there to attempt what will be a 26-yard field goal. Snaps a little low, got it down, it is up, and it is good. Oh, how about that? That was a very low snap. Short hop by the holder. He got it up for the field goal. 8:20 to go in the game. Lead cut to 5 here. Number 1 Creek and number 5 Regis. This is the Post-Preps game of the week.
With the largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere.
Watch new episodes of Post Preps TV with Kyle Newman every week at denverpost.com/preps.
Big field goal there, 26-yarder by Mac Willis. And with 8:20 left to go, Creek has set themselves up here. Now they lean on the defense here. Rojas will put this one into the end zone. It's on the Bruins defense now, and right on the other side of things here from this near side for Regis, you put together one big long drive, we win this thing.
Absolutely, and I think that's what Coach Philemon is telling his offense right now. We have to be smart. don't make mistakes. So when this fatigue thing that we've been talking about that's really taking place here in the second half of this game, he's got to get through to his players, especially his senior leaders, and say, hey, we have control of this game. There's only 8 minutes left. This is the #1 team in the I almost said the nation, in the state so far this year. This is a huge opportunity for us on the road to show the state of Colorado that Regis means business this year.
Give it off here to the near side. That is Chiku Martinez. He was able to get the edge and up to the 33-yard line, a gain of 13. The first time that Chiku Martinez touches the ball.
And another thing that Coach Philemon is going to be telling his players right now, stay in bounds. Make sure this clock continues to run, and that's what you saw from Chico Martinez right there, who could have easily probably picked up an extra 2 or 3 yards and got pushed out of bounds, but smart enough to know, as I'm sure Coach Philemon was just telling them in that huddle, stay in bounds, hang on to the ball, and do not make mistakes, and we'll win this game.
Young man's making a push for our American Furniture Warehouse Player of the Game. Well, that'll be awarded at the end of the contest. We're coming down to it here, under 8 minutes to go. Back to Martinez, and how about that little stutter step there at the line? Oh, ball's on the ground, but the officials say he is down. He got to the 39, so give him 6 yards here, but loose football at the end.
As the great philosopher Chris Berman once said, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Chico Martinez breaking tackles, and what I say, I was going to call him the lumberjack. The lumberjack.
Yeah.
Chico Martinez continuing to push this offense and propel them, and he is the physical nature right now for this offense. This is Regis saying, we are going to run the ball. We're going to run this clock out, and we're going to take this win on your home field, and it's up to Cherry Creek to man up and stop him.
Martinez on the right hip of Lamb, and pulled out a little option play and a dive, and boy, that is a dangerous play. Aubrey Ardell Parker will dive and catch that one, but I see what they were trying to do. Well,
Cory,
is that the big one?
Do you have it? The defibrillator.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to need for Coach Philemon. Boy, my heart skipped a beat. I'm wondering how he's doing right now with his cardiologist, but really taking some chances here when they don't have to. They have to be really smart here, and if you're Lamb in that situation, take the loss.
Yeah.
Take the loss in that situation. Very lucky there for Regis.
3rd and 4 now. What do the Raiders do? Big series for the Cherry Creek defense. They'll give it back to Chiku Martinez. Cuts it up, got the first down, and falls ahead across the midfield stripe there. He makes his way forward. Nicholas Wright got to him, but not before the chains are moving again for the Raiders.
I'm going to make a small comparison again, not to necessarily the player that he is, but the great Jim Brown. After he would have those long runs, the laboring, the getting up, the taking his time and rolling, you see Chico Martinez at the end of every play that he runs, gets up slow and takes his time, but as soon as you put that ball back in his hands, he's a bullet out of a gun. So I like the way he's running the ball, and if they can keep this up, this is going to be real trouble for Cherry Creek.
The junior pacing himself there, getting back to the line. Whoop, somebody moved. Heimlicher, along with that right side, Hama also moved about the same time.
I hate to keep bringing it up, but fatigue. And I guarantee you, Coach Philemon is telling his guys, you've got to be mentally tough here. These are the mistakes that can kill you. Now it's 1st and 10. Now you're at a 1st and 15. Even if you pick up a good gain of 7 yards on first down, now you're talking about 2nd and 8s. 2nd and 8s lead to 3rd and 3s instead of 1st downs and 10s. So these little things don't seem like a lot, but they can end up being very heavy weights.
Let's see if it's Chiku Martinez that gets it again. Nope. Lamb rolling out, setting up the screen. Tuatella's got it. Stood up, but takes the pound and leans forward. Boy, Nicholas Wright trying to lay the wood to him, and it just didn't work out.
I tell you what, this has been a very physical game. From the very opening kickoff, we saw a huge hit, to all the way now with less than 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. This has been a great physical contest. This is what you want to see from two of the top teams in the entire state of Colorado.
7 yards on the pickup by Tama Tuatella on that little screen pass to the left side. Regis holding on to a 5-point lead. It's a 2nd and 8 now. Far side hash, long count. Justin Lamb got it and would give it off. Chiku Martinez bursts through a double team there. He saw the two defenders, split them, and gets to the 30-yard line.
Again, a crack, a crease, an alley. He finds it. He continues to push, continues to drive, continues to run. This kid is taking this game over right now, but you see him coming off to the sidelines. So it makes you wonder, if this kid gets tired, do you change your tactic? Do you continue to run? Or now because he's not in there, do you think about passing? So you have to be careful here if you're Regis. And you see him running the clock now. They want to try and take every second they can off the play clock. And as you beautifully alluded to earlier, the huge play clocks now at the end of the end zones give these guys an upper hand playing the clock.
Gonna have to snap this one. They do just in time. Tuatella's got it this time, and he is rumbling forward inside the 30-yard line, down to the 29. He's brought down by Trey Marini, but Tuatella, it's not a change of pace. It's just a bigger guy out there.
I tell you what, if I want to get my legs in shape, I'm going to Regis. The way that these guys are running out of that backfield, I mean, these guys must have a great strength and conditioning program, and they work on legs a lot. Every day is leg day at Regis.
Yeah, 5 yards on the pickup there. That took some serious effort, and now as the clock continues to wind down, Regis is all about milking the clock, just keep pushing forward. Tuatella's going to stay in at the back on the left hip of Lamb, and he'll give it to him. Tuatella puts the foot in the ground, splits two defenders, and falls forward to the 23, another first down.
Boy, Cherry Creek is starting to run out of time. You're just now creeping under 3 minutes left. Regis is controlling the line of scrimmage. If Cherry Creek wants a chance here, because remember, there's two ways that this can happen. Either Regis is going to run the clock out now, or they score a touchdown. There's a third option.
Yeah.
Even if Creek can hold them to a field goal, we're still talking about a one-possession game. If they get a stop, it's a one-possession game. The only thing they cannot afford to let them do is run the clock out or score a touchdown.
Right now it's down to 2.5. And a timeout going to be called by Regis. They ran that play clock all the way down to 1 second here. Wow, 2:29 left to go. The finale in this one. Coming your way when we return. The Post-Preps Game of the Week presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
Part of the next Post-Preps TV broadcast, pull out those phones. If you've got video of an amazing high school sports highlight, we want to see it. Send it to us so you could be featured in the social spotlight segment of Post-Preps TV. Tweet it to us at Post-Preps or at Kyle Newman DP, or send us a message on our Facebook page. Your clip might make the cut and be featured on the next episode of Post-Preps TV. Colorado's news, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7, denverpost.com/DPTV.
Don't want to miss any of our Post-Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
Oh, look at the crowd here. Creek fans a little nervous. Rolling the big banner out. 2:29 to go in the game. Regis Jesuit with the football and trying to run the clock out. And there's Juke Martinez, foot in the ground again and up to the 11-yard line. Roth with the tackle, but the chains are moving again.
Chico Martinez, again, the lumberjack, continuing to barrel down the field. And we talked about it early. You may not remember, Cory, but I'm gonna remind you because I was finally right on something. They used that timeout early in the third quarter. Now you don't have the ability to stop the clock after a first down now. You can stop it after first, you can stop it after second, but they can continue to run the ball on third and fourth. Cherry Creek is in a precarious position right now.
Lamb waiting for that play clock. It got down to 8 this time, and they'll throw it out to the far side over there. Mendenhall taken down inside the 5-yard line. Ritzenberger is out there on the tackle. And now a goal-to-go situation here for Regis.
It looked like initially the way that was set up with the blocking, it looked like he was going to walk into the end zone, but great rally by the Cherry Creek defense to bring him down. So now this is where the game gets interesting, folks, because it's going to be up to Regis how they want to play this. Less than a minute and a half in the game. You're up by 5. It's second down. You're in a goal-to-go situation. Do you score? Do you continue to run the clock?
Second and goal. Give it up. Chico Martinez looking for room around the outside. Did he get in? Yeah! That's the nail in the coffin for Regis, and they did it almost entirely on the ground. 11 plays, 80 yards, and it's Chico Martinez that did most of the running.
The lumberjack, the workhorse, leg day. That might be his other nickname, leg day. I mean, the way that they ran the ball with him on this drive, you would be remiss to not let him finish it off. And this is a great score for Regis. This could potentially put the game away. You don't ever want to say a game is over. You still got a minute 15 left. He's got 2 timeouts. But this may have just ended the game by the legs and the feet of Chico Martinez.
11 plays, 80 yards. They took 7 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. They're going for 2 here. Lamb rolling, being chased, throws, and it is incomplete. Looking for Marshall Parker there, but as he went down, he could not make the catch. And I would imagine he's cramping up a little bit, just like the other 21 guys out there on the field.
Absolutely, and we see a couple of guys now, one down for Cherry Creek and one taking it easy, and Marcel Parker heading back to the sidelines. But to me, this drive by Regis made a statement, not only to the state of Colorado, but maybe even Kyle Newman and the rest of the state to say, hey, we're here too. We were 1 game away from the title game. Okay? This is a team that wants to put themselves on the map. Maybe it's Coach Philemon that we'll be talking about along the same lines of a Dave Logan here. He has built a program that consistently knows how to win. They have senior leadership. Lamb, although not a glamorous night tonight, has been consistent, has been the leader on the team, has been able to maintain the egos and the excitement and the fatigue and say, hey, fellas, let's maintain this and get it down the field, and then relying and carrying by Chico Martinez of this team of Regis on his back for a long drive. As you talked about, they could end this game effectively with a long drive, and it seemingly seems they have done just that.
One more thing to do for Regis, and that is keep it away from Dimitri Stanley, and they've done that each time they've kicked off. But hey, don't turn into suddenly. Don't let those smarts fall out.
Right.
You got to be smart when it comes to special teams.
Now, because it puts you in an interesting situation, though. Do you kick it long for the field position? But if you do, then that gives you the option.
No.
And I'm with you, but I'm playing the odds here.
Yeah.
Do you think about that if you're a coach now? Do I want to give Cherry Creek a short field when you're only down by 2 scores, maybe a quick score and an onside? This game still could not be over.
All right, we'll see. He is going to kick it away. Oh, man. Going to be taken by that right side. It did not go to Stanley, so they kicked it away from me. He runs out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. But I am shocked that they kicked it over there. But they kept it away from number 14. They actually got it to James Walker on that side.
I thought maybe that would creep into the head of the coach, because you got to play field position here.
Yeah.
Because one big catch by Stanley from the 40 for 60 yards, now they're back in the game. Now, if you want to score and get back in this game, you got to go 75 yards now. By the way, a heck of a tackle by Mr. Rowe, who we haven't mentioned a whole lot, and for a cornerback, that might be a good thing.
Right.
But a great tackle on the kickoff team there for Mr. Rowe.
He, the man of the pick 6 early in the game. Regis has never trailed here.
No. Very contrary to last year's game where they got down early 7-0 and then continued to bulldoze and control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, just like last year.
A minute 10 left to go here in the game, and our player of the game, we're not quite there yet. I don't quite want to give it out. We know who it is. Yes, circle, round and round and round. We know who it is, essentially, but I've watched comebacks on this very field years ago. In fact, there was a young man named Jack Elway First round of the playoffs.
Sounds a little familiar. Yeah, that last name. We've heard that before, I think, a couple
together
times.
a comeback drive. Kaylee Barella, yes, she is a female, kicked the game-winning field goal to finish that drive off and to beat A West. And
heck of a game.
It was a fantastic game, and you thought Cherry Creek was dead then, so don't put a blanket over them quite yet. Quick throw out here to the near side. It's caught. Marcus will go down. The clock will stop for the moment as they move the chains here. If you make the pass longer than 10, you could get it up here to about the 43, but they've got to get set and go.
I'm surprised that they took so much time off the clock. It should be an immediate reaction as soon as whoever catches the ball hits the ground. You got to get up and get set. They're wasting valuable time right now.
Play being called in. You know they got to go deep here. But he is all by himself. Fired here into the slot. It is Stanley who will make the catch and will step out to stop the clock right about the 43-yard line. So,
and a great pitch and catch there, but allowing 15 seconds to creep off the clock there when you're down 2 possessions. Now, if this is a 1-possession game, okay, maybe you can take your time a little bit, but there's got to be a sense of urgency because they need 2 scores here, not just 1.
From the 42-second and 6, but they get 46 seconds left. Padilla finds Stanley again. He's going to step out of bounds, going to work their way down here. Field goal gets you the opportunity to go for the onside, but again, short pickups. That one right near the first down. They are going to give him the first down at the 48.
It looked like it was close. I was wondering if they were going to give it to him, and lo and behold, they did end up giving it to him. They have got to show a sense of urgency here. They've got to take some shots right now.
Padilla throws one over the middle here. It is caught by the tight end, who is going to get tackled at the 44-yard line as Brazil.
Got to take a timeout here.
Got to use it when you make that throw, and it wasn't even enough to get you a first down here. So it's just you want to try to get bigger chunks. But again, Padilla, yeah, I guess you pick when you're going to take your shot.
You know, he's struggled a little bit. I'm sure they told him early in the game, stop trying to force and try to make big plays. Take what the defense gives you. But in this situation, this is the one situation where you tell him, throw all of that out the window and take some shots, especially if it's over the middle of the field. If they're not able to get a first down, you can't throw them the ball. You have to throw it at least 10 yards if you're going to throw it over the middle of the field.
So they'll spot the ball down here at about the 44-yard line. You see there's only 39 seconds left to go in the game and a 2-score game. So.
And there's some people that have left, but still a lot of fans in the crowd, still a lot of excitement in this stadium. This game is not completely over yet, people.
It's high school football, man. Don't sleep on it. Anything can happen. Empty backfield. Padilla's looking here to the near side. Steps up to the pocket, fires. Stanley's got it. Gets to the sideline here. At the 33-yard line, the clock will stop at 34 seconds left.
Ball came out late there. Now, I'll have to go deep into the high school rule book.
All right.
Colorado high school rule book, but he did not follow all the way through with that catch out of bounds, but the referee gave him the possession anyway and was able to step out of bounds. They gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you saw Macias was asking for him to wind the clock, but he steps up here. He's got to fire it out there. Got a man sliding down, making the catch at the 21-yard line. First catch of the night for Barrett, but they got to hurry. No first down. It stops the clock, so they hustle up to the line.
We're seeing that sense of urgency that they needed to show earlier, but they're doing it now. Here comes the spike.
Clocks it here with 25 seconds left to go. They could get a little bit of a breather here. All right, D, you take the shot to the end zone now. Now you got to, do you do it or do you try to get a little bit closer, maybe kick a field goal, go for the onside? There's multiple things.
Right, and with it being an 11-point game, you do have the option to kick the field goal. And that may be an option now, but they've been so shaky with the field goal kicking. You try and attempt a field goal and you miss it, then people are going to start asking questions as to why you did that. But I think right now you're close enough that you can take some shots to the end zone. I think you take, it's second down here, you take 3 shots to the end zone right here if I'm Cherry Creek.
Mac Willis, 2 field goals. The longest was 26 yards, though. Fired out to the right side, caught by Miller, and he's out of bounds over there on that far side. It stops the clock. 22 seconds left to go.
Maybe the thought process here is we don't want Padilla to take some long shots here. Let's get a little bit closer, be sure about who you're going to, find your guy, sight him open, and throw it.
Looking to the right side, fires out there. Again, Miller catches from the slot, steps out, and now they're inside the 10-yard line.
And again, I want to tell the audience, I know you're sitting there saying, well, why didn't Cherry Creek do this all game long? But you have to understand, Regis is playing off and allowing these underneath throws because they want them to use that clock.
Let's see if they take that shot to the end zone. Only 19 seconds left here. Again, Padilla's all by himself. Miller's in the slot right. It is Stanley in the slot left. Those are the guys they've been going to each and every time. Still looking right. Now he's going to run it here. Will slide down at the 3-yard line. They're going to have to take that last time out here with 10 seconds left.
I know this kid is young, and I know this is a teaching moment for Dave Logan. You know you only have one timeout left. You're down 2 possessions. If you seriously cannot see anybody open, throw it away.
Yeah, you got 6 yards out of it, and the clock keeps running here.
You see that tree line behind the end zone back there? Try and fit it into one of the branches up there. At that point, you got to be smart. You got to conserve the clock. But I know he's a young kid. He just wants to make a play. I understand. But now you've wasted that last time out now, which that first one they took in the 3rd quarter. The one thing I was right about, Cory, that may come back to bite them, because even if they can get an onside kick, let's say they score right here, 2 or 3 seconds in, you got 7 seconds left on the clock, but now you have no timeout. It's one Hail Mary and you have nothing left. If you had the timeout, maybe you could get down to 1 second, take a timeout, get closer and throw it.
Coming down to it, our post-preps game of the week presented by American Furniture Warehouse. 10 seconds left. Padilla's got one, put one in the end zone here. Try to get a little bit closer. The flags fly first. Did somebody jump?
Is that on? Nope, they're calling it on the defense.
Well, they'll, I guess, take that.
Half the distance to the goal.
Got to put a little time on the clock, but
right. Doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things.
Well, if you're going to try to time it, if you're Regis defensively, you're going to time one, that's not a bad time to take a shot.
Absolutely. I would agree with you there as well. Now, that was a dead ball foul, so I wonder if they're going to put some time back on the clock here.
Yeah, I think he's asking to put a little time on the clock. About 10.2. They lost about 0.8 of a second. There we go.
Right. So actually, that was to the advantage of Cherry Creek. You get a couple of yards closer. The clock still stopped. So we'll see what they do here.
Padilla's looking to the right side. A little comeback route. And is it caught over there? Touchdown. There is a flag. Dimitri Stanley makes the catch in front of Rowe there.
It looks like that might have been a pass interference on Rowe. So actually...
And another flag has come out in the end zone.
This could actually be interesting. If this is defensive pass interference, I wonder if that's something that Dave Logan could use on the kickoff. If so, if you get the onside kick, maybe you actually have a shot at one play here.
Well, they may be able to use something on the kick here because of something that might have been said in the end zone. Now, it is defensive pass interference, so he is Coach Logan what he'd like to do here. Watch top of your screen. Stanley, nice little dig route there as he started to make his way inside, came back, and boy, the ball right on the money.
And it looks like if Dave Logan may have asked them to move this on to the kickoff. If so, that means they're kicking out 45. Get an onside kick. You have one shot at the end zone. This game may not be over.
Yeah, Coach Filliman would like an explanation as to what the entire discussion is. Doesn't like it, but that's what's going to happen, I think.
Absolutely. This game is, I don't want to say far from over, but it ain't over yet.
Told you folks, don't go away. Going for 2 here.
Which makes it a field goal game as well.
Yep. Padilla with Stacks behind him out of the pistol set. Somebody moved on that left side.
That hurts. That hurts.
Well, now instead of going from where you were, you got a little space, but you're going to have to throw it now.
Mental mistakes and confusion and not having everybody on the same page will be the storyline for what Cherry Creek went through tonight if this ends up being a loss for them. We saw it early. We saw it in the middle of the game, and now we're still seeing it at the end of the game, which is something you don't expect from a Dave Logan-led team.
Going for two again. We'll see if they change up the call. Yeah, they're going to go the fade route. Oh, they got Stanley there, up to make the catch. Out of bounds. He got pushed out of bounds. He was hit by Rowe. And there's that guy again. We called his name out a few times. Patrick Rowe, the pick six, and going one-on-one with Dimitri Stanley.
As you see there on the replay, great defense there. And the only thing that you might tell him there is you want to make sure that you try and look back for the ball. But what he did is he read the eyes of the receiver. And as soon as the eyes, if you've never played defensive back against a wide receiver, I'm going to give you a little secret. Anytime a wide receiver is getting ready to catch a ball, his eyes get big. If you're a defensive back, You're watching those eyes. When those eyes get big and those hands go up, you make a play on the ball, and that's exactly what Rowe did. This all comes down to the onside kick now. This is going to be interesting with 8 seconds left. Can Cherry Creek get their hands on the ball? This is the game, ladies and gentlemen.
9 plays, 75 yards, by the way, on that drive for Cherry Creek. Took 1 minute, 17 seconds to get it done. So here we sit with 8 seconds left. This will be Rojas. Lining up, looks like he's going to kick it at us. We'll see. He will. Where's that second hop? Oh, he got the second hop, but it heads out of bounds, and it will be Regis football, and all they have to do is kneel down on it.
Well, the play that was made there is actually the play that you want that kid to make in that situation. If you get a weird bounce, knock it out of bounds, because at the end of the day, it will never go to the kicking team as long as the ball goes out of bounds. So effectively, the game is over. Now, Regis obviously has to be careful here with the snap, make sure that they have a good snap between the quarterback and the center, but this game is effectively a done deal.
Time to announce our American Furniture Warehouse player of the game, and it's a guy that is way back playing safety in the victory formation for Regis Jesuit. Congratulations to Kiku Martinez, maybe the best name on the field and looked like the best running back tonight.
Hey, he came away with the best name, the best nickname, and the best performance of the night, all in three. Ken Lumberjack Chico Martinez chopping them down tonight, leading this Regis team to victory. An incredible showing by Coach Filament and this staff to come into the house of the #1 team in the state and come away with a massive, massive win that will pay dividends later on when we start talking about playoff seeding. Long ways away, but still something to think about.
Chico Martinez, a big key on that drive that came in the fourth period. That 11-play, 80-yard drive, 7 minutes, 5 seconds off the clock, capped it off with that 4-yard touchdown. This happened last year, though, and both of these teams ended up pushing into the semifinals. It's so early, but it's a nice feather to put in the cap if you're Regis.
And I think if you're Cherry Creek, you did some good things. You pressed in the second half. You fixed some of your mistakes. You showed some toughness. You showed some grit. So there are good things that Dave Logan is going to be able to talk to this team about, but it's all about how they bounce back in the next game. And if you're Regis, you have to make sure that your team stays grounded. This is a good team, but a top 10 team that just beat the #1 team. You have to be very careful about next week's game. Don't allow it to be a trap game.
Coming up for you as we're about ready to say goodbye, you get an opportunity to watch the highlights of this game and see everything that happened. But what we can tell you now is it's an upset in week 1. #5 Regis and Chico Martinez upset #1 Cherry Creek. Final 24-20. Congratulations to Regis in week 1. Next week, we will be headed off to Littleton Public School Stadium. It is Arapahoe and Heritage. That rivalry game coming in week 2. We'll have it for you starting at 7 o'clock next Friday. D, it's fun.
Absolutely. We always going to have a good time as long as me and you are together, Cory. We got to do this again, man.
Absolutely. For the cast of thousands, thanks to Kyle Newman for jumping on at halftime. Make sure you read your morning Denver Post for the recap of this one. The final in this one, as we roll the highlights to the end, it is a big win for the Regis Raiders as they knock off number 1 Cherry Creek. For D, I'm Cory. We'll talk to you again next week. The American Furniture Warehouse Post Preps Game of the Week.
Hey folks, I'm Kyle Newman with Post Preps TV, your weekly roundup on all things preps. Join me every week for all the latest news and analysis on Colorado high school football, basketball, wrestling, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, volleyball, softball, and many, many more sports. This is a huge top 10 game between these two teams. First, Dylan paces Evergreen with 13.7 points per game.
Yes, sir, this win means so much. I know we've been battling all these past 2 weeks in practice.
And that was an amazing moment for me to see him go from good quarterback to really elite Colorado high school quarterback. Hunter Willits and Grant Willits boast 5 state titles between them. Go to denverpost.com/preps for game highlights, a live stream of our game of the week on Post Preps Radio, and our weekly Post Preps podcast. Your sports, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7 at denverpost.com/DPTV.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American Furniture Warehouse.
Don't want to miss any of our Post Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.